Alright, here we are. Episode 53. We're about to get started. Got almost a full house. We should see Eric pop in pretty soon. Right around 7. He usually comes in late. He's the late one in the group. But he'll be joining us. We got Jesse playing Sheppy tonight as well. He's playing remote. And there is that. Plus, we're going to have another player tonight who's played a few times, making cameo appearances, and that's my friend Ryan. He's playing Lofter once again. So glad to have you, Ryan.
Certainly glad to be here.
Awesomeness. And we're going to pick up where we left off. Yeah, so last session, I should probably do the recap of that because that was a little different session altogether. None of the other players know what happened. So I get a villain point tonight. Yes, I do, because I'm going to do the recap. But first, let's introduce our players and their characters. Okay, we're going to start off with one of my favorite characters. And that's Agatha. Dizzy, go ahead and introduce yourself. And then I got a question for everybody. Go ahead, Dizzy.
Hello. I play Agatha, the chief vampire of the group that had joined a little while ago and is now doing what she can to help the companions do everything they can to get rid of the evilness that has been creeping out of the tower. She's still keeping to herself, but she's slowly opening up to the group, and hopefully she'll continue to be useful to the group and do everything she can.
Awesome. Dizzy. Agatha. This is for everybody. Regarding your character, when they're on their downtime, when they're not seeking out adventure, when they're home, when they're at the barracks, when they're hanging out beachside, under the pier, chewing on bones. That probably answers the question for Sheppy. But how does your character... What is their favorite form of entertainment? What do they do when they're on downtime? What do they enjoy as a pastime? Not necessarily a hobby, but what entertains them, as it were? So, Dizzy, start us off with that. What's Agatha's way of just chilling and relaxing? There's no distractions. What does she like to do? What is her entertainment?
If she is not trying to keep herself or any of the people that she's with alive, she tends to wander around, learning new things, trying to understand how the outside world that she's not so much a part of functions, and just gaining information that she sees as both useful and somewhat rather entertaining, as she's by herself a great deal of time, despite having a familiar. So anyway, she gets an opportunity to learn something new, she doesn't hesitate to go after it, which can be a little bit of a problem, as it might land her into some trouble, depending on what kind of information she's trying to go after.
Yeah. Always curious, inquisitive. Okay. Next up, we've got Rachel, another one of my favorite characters, that little gnome cleric. Althea, introduce yourself, Rachel.
We're all your favorite character.
I know, I've got to add that, don't I?
You
uh,
better say that.
yeah, so hey guys, it's Rachel here. I play Althea, and that's exactly who I'm playing tonight. She is a cleric gnome. She's joined the party under her faith in Desna after having these bizarre dreams and just getting that call to help. Now, to answer your question about forms of entertainment, if I said book club, that would make her far too dull because it's very clear she works at the Dawnflower Library, she does enjoy reading, and she gardens. We're going to say, and it's going to be really bizarre, but in her leisure time for her form of entertainment, she enjoys comedy. So if there's any like open mic nights, she just enjoys those who jest and perform. So she likes going to shows, specifically comedy. But she doesn't tell anybody this. So like this is like a secret of hers. Like this is her oh, what is the term? Not dark secret, but guilty pleasure. That's her guilty pleasures, going to comedy shows.
Okay. Does she ever step up on stage, as many folk do?
Oh no, she's far too shy. She'll sometimes scribble notes and perform in front of Binley, like practice, but she's never actually gone up on stage, nor would she ever. She's definitely not built for that.
Gotcha. Hey, everybody, why the gnome cross the road? Wait a minute. Yeah. It's a little bit too much at the moment for Althea. Interesting. I'll keep that one in mind. I like that one. Gonna pocket that little entertainment for a future episode. Next we have Jesse. Sheppy, I kind of already answered the question for you, didn't I? You like to hang out under that pier chewing on bones.
Yep, I play Sheppy, our resident fire sorcerer. Sheppy, when he's not rolling in garbage and eating fish bones under the pier, one of the things he does that no one really knows, except for maybe Althea, is that he likes sneaking into people's houses when they don't know. He does this because he likes to observe how humans and other races live, so he can learn and be more part of human society because he feels like an outcast. And another thing that he does is he enjoys secretly listening to Althea's comedy routine when she thinks nobody else is around.
If she ever found out that you had watched, she would just not talk for weeks from the embarrassment.
Oh, that's a good one. All right, so that's your entertainment?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, and starting fires too. Can't forget that.
Yeah.
So he's a people watcher and what is it, arsonist?
So far our party, little unbeknownst to everyone else, is that we're all on a razor's edge of murdering each other.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Something like that.
That sums it up in a nutshell. And, okay, who's next? Kyle's not here tonight. Eric will be sliding in at the proper moment. We have our returning player, Ryan, good friend of mine. He's been in the campaign since I think Althea and Kyle joined. Well over a year ago.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah. Making his appearance once again as Lofter, Sergeant of the Atari Guard.
Mm-hmm.
So, go for it.
Yeah.
Ryan, introduce your character.
Yeah. If you were to see Lofter, he is a tall and bulky, blonde-haired and bearded Ulfin or Viking male, covered in hide and brandishing a long sword and a large round wooden shield. And on his shoulder, you can usually see a... Ooh, that covered up my talking point there.
Oh, whoops. Whoopsie.
Thank you. Yeah, I had my biography in front of me. So, sorry. A young brown-feathered hawk is usually riding along on his shoulder. If not there, then he may be peering from a nearby tree branch or that kind of thing, just observing and being his eyes and ears up in the air. So, yeah.
And how does Lofter find his entertainment? What does he do when he's got time off
Mm-hmm.
the garrison?
Yeah, he'd probably be either in the Rockfish, drinking ales, and laughing and getting along with the rest of the townsfolk, and also, of course, listening in, because when you're of his profession, you're never really off the clock. And but besides that, probably taking Valhan, his hawk, out for practice, training him and him training him, and maybe even learning to continue to communicate with him in ways that some people may not expect from Lofter.
Awesome.
We'll just leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. That's good enough for me. Everybody starts off with 1 hero point. Yes. Now to recap, little short recap. This was from episode 52 where we picked up. I'll kind of skirt around what happened in episode 51 a little bit. I'll talk about that too. And I'll get a villain point tonight. All right, so... In fact, let's pick up where we left off in 51. The companions, including Arthurian, the dwarven warrior, as well as the other characters here in the group, minus Lofter, had once again found themselves deep in the gauntlight. Making their way through the upper levels, they made their way deep down. They came to this... Actually, I should back up. They actually had successfully brought down the wall that was preventing them from getting any further down in the gauntlet. That was a challenge right there that they got through, but they did that. And once that happened, they were able to descend those big, broad steps and see what lies beyond, what lies deeper down here. They encountered some dark creatures. They encountered a huge pit leading into an abyss. They couldn't see the bottom of it. They fought some horrifying creatures. Creatures with arms coming out of their heads. Mounds of fleshy things that they had to defeat and fight, and they did so. Later on, traveling through even deeper into this dark, cavernous place, they found themselves set upon by furniture that came alive and tried to consume them. If not those bouncing creatures with huge maws and teeth, trying to knock them into pits below. They defeated all those and made their way deeper. They explored some rooms, most of which seemed to be empty. They came to chambers that looked like there was some kind of gathering area for gladiator-type warriors. But there was no creatures. hidden message carved into a cupboard was found. Something referring to a... Let me get the proper name here because I think I pronounced it wrong last time. Jafaki. Jafaki. Jafaki was that name that was written into an old cupboard. Beware, Jafaki. No idea who wrote that. Locked doors everywhere. The party pushed on into a door that was open. Peering inside, they saw this huge room. They saw heads, stuffed creatures along the walls. Murals, broken, shattered furniture, tables. And as they stepped into this chamber, Cassandra, Arthurian the dwarf, suddenly the bones began to shift. There was bones all over the floor. They began to shift. They began to move. They began to come together into a large, huge, humanoid creature. Almost a giant. A creature made up of bones of smaller creatures stood before them, and a battle ensued. This towering creature, with a single swipe of its hand, managed to strike into Cassandra the monk and the dwarf, causing grievous wounds. There were screams of pain. Althea, standing on top of a table where she could get a good view of the action, was at a loss. Sheppy close by behind her. Agatha entering the chamber last, peering inside this room, seeing this creature rise, making a horrendous scream from its maw, sent waves of fear through the group. And that's where we left off. Lofter. It's been a while since you've seen the companions. Perhaps it's time to check in. You've got some time off from the guard. Your duties can be set aside. It's a rainy afternoon. You frequented the Rowdy Rockfish. Can't be found. The companions, they must be delving deeper once again into the gauntlight. You've decided to follow behind. It's not hard picking up their trail, especially with Sheppy in tow. Occasional bones you can see lying on the ground and on the paths leading up to the gauntlight. Little fish bones. You pursue. You make your way through the gauntlight. Very familiar territory. You've been through here before. And as you do so, it takes some time. It actually takes probably a couple hours. But one thing you notice as you make your way through these upper levels, we'll say, something is different. Something is amiss. You see bodies lying about of those little gremlin creatures, torn, ripped and shredded like as if they were attacked by something vicious. You push on. Every once in a while, as you make your way through these corridors, familiar corridors, you get the sense of being watched. Unusual? Not really. But in this case, something is odd about it. Something different, something new. Eyes you have not felt before. You push on. I want you to make... Now, tell me this, Lofter. Are you being somewhat stealthy as you make your way through here, or are you rushing through this area? I need to know that.
Probably a little bit in between. He's really just taking the time to. I'm really just taking the time to observe and explore on my own. Now that I don't have anyone with me, just taking that, just kind of like taking everything in and just kind of studying the surroundings.
But are you being stealthy? Or are you rushing through these upper levels
Right.
to find your friends?
Yeah.
Or just going at normal pace?
Yeah. Probably stealthy as much as possible. Yeah.
Okay, give me a stealth roll. Make it blind.
Okay.
This gives me an idea of how stealthy you might actually be, in case someone is watching. So set it to blind GM roll and hit your stealth. Boom. Okay. One more roll I'd like you to make. This is to tell me how observant you really are as you make your way through this. This will be a blind perception roll. This is the important one. Okay. It's not too difficult following them. You do manage to find in what looks like a small kitchen. It looks like there's a door that's actually a wall covered with spoons and knives. It's partially open. This wall. A secret door, perhaps. You make your way through there and get into a very natural-looking cavern. Following the trail, you find yet another door partially open. You push it open, and as you step through it, you realize that this isn't really a door. This is actually some type of coffin, standing vertical. Again, some type of secret door, a passage that could only be seen from the side that you entered from. You're in this wide corridor. It's about 15 foot wide. You see coffins all along the east and west walls. Darkness lies to the north. To the south, however, to your right, you see what looks like an arched opening with a great set of steps as wide as the walls, about 15 feet, descending into the darkness. You see a couple footsteps going in that direction. Small feet, booted feet. Could be the Prince of Althea. You follow. Pushing on, you descend down these steps, maybe 30 feet in total. You come to these great doors. Again, slightly ajar. Pushing your way through, you immediately feel the darkness itself. You have a torch out, by the way. And it lights up your way. You see in front of you, at the bottom of these steps, this great pit. It has a rail, a rusty rail, all along it. It might shoot maybe 30 feet across. But it's this great pit going into darkness and blackness. Your torchlight does not even begin to pierce it. You hear a sickly sound. It sounds like something wet has hit a stone floor. Looking to your left, you see there is a door. Another door is open. It's maybe 40 feet away. You make your way towards this door cautiously using stealth. Peering through the doorway, you can see there in front of you, well, you can smell as you approach this door, the smell of death and rot. And as you get close to this doorway, you see there in front of the door itself, lying, spread out, is this mound of rotting flesh. You can see mouths, lips, all over it, blue in coloration. It looks like it's rotting, and it lies motionless. Looking closely, you can see cut marks in this gelatinous type creature almost. You can see the cuts and slashes and bludgeoning marks, like this thing was attacked, perhaps by your friends. Just then you hear what sounds like a scream. Very faint and in the distance. It's coming from beyond this doorway, to the east. You push on. And as you go down this long, narrow hallway, passage maybe 5 feet across, to the south, at the end of this hallway, there is a doorway. The door can easily be opened. You peer down it, you see another 5-foot corridor. You come into this chamber. Shattered furniture. It looks like some type of weapons rack has been shattered and broken. Its wood has been shattered. You see to the north a doorway which is missing. You can see the door itself lying flat. It looks like it's been off its hinges for years. But in front of that door you see another pile of wood. Investigating, it looks like that wood was a door as well. Just then again, you hear another scream. It sounds familiar. You've heard that before. Is it the companions? It's coming from the south. You head towards the door in that direction again. You pull the latch carefully and peer down yet another 5-foot wide corridor leading to another door. On the map is where you are currently located. You are standing at an open doorway. I've pinged it for you. Do you see that?
Yep.
Okay. What I want you to do now is you hear screams and the sound of battle, not far away, to the south. Well, to the east and then the south. You get the idea that the sound is coming from that direction. I would like you to roll initiative. You're going to use perception. Again, right-click the fist symbol to bring up your encounter tracker.
It looks like the...
Okay, I'm going to make you visible.
Looks like...
I'm going to make you visible in the tracker once you make your appearance. Do you see what you rolled?
Oh, I don't remember rolling. It didn't show the... doesn't show the die.
Okay, I see what
like
you
it did
rolled.
earlier. Okay, I didn't press it, but okay.
Where are we? We're going to start at the top of round 2, the next 6 seconds of action. All right? As this battle continues. Althea, this creature stands before you, wreaking havoc on your friends, Cassandra and Arthurian the dwarf. You're currently standing on a pile of broken wood. Looks like a table that was shattered. This creature has appeared from the bones that were scattered around here and now is menacing, looking at you and your friends in your direction. It stands between you and your goals. You're up. What do you do?
Quite nervously, she casts Divine Lance. Getting a 27.
What alignment did you choose?
My deity is good, so it's going to be good damage.
And that's going to be a hit. This energy of goodness hits its mark. In the center of the chest, this creature feels the energy literally explode. This energy of Desna, the power of good. 12 points of good damage. Strike this creature. He's obviously affected by it, so congrats.
Alright, next thing she does is she frantically pats her side and pulls out her star knife.
That's one action. Unless you had it at the ready.
Well, it was at her side, so it was not at the ready at the beginning of the battle. So that ends her 6 seconds of preparation.
Cassandra, feeling the pain of this creature, the bones rake across her flesh, she immediately looks to the left towards Arthurian. Arthurian, pull away! Quick! Come over here with cover! And she falls back to this position. She has some cover now behind this table. Arthurian. No time for that, missy. I'm gonna roll a dice. He holds his ground firmly. Let's see what he's got here. He's got his warhammer out. He has his shield up. So he's using this one-handed. He's going to strike with the warhammer. He tries to catch the arm of this creature before it pulls away. And with a 24, he will just hit. He's going to roll some normal damage with his magical warhammer. It crashes into the bones of this creature. 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And with that, he's going to hold his ground. He's going to take another shot with his... Whoops, that's wrong. Let me do this again. Let me make it public so you guys can see his rolls. He's going to strike one more time with his hammer. And try and catch this creature in the knees. With a 27, he is successful. He's going to do some normal damage as the hammer crashes into bone yet again. Smashing into it, doing another 10 points of bludgeoning damage. And with his final action, he raises his shield once again, girding himself from the response of this creature. Sheppy. Oh. Althea, would you like to run Sheppy here for a round until he makes his reappearance?
Oh, yeah. Sheppy's gonna cast Fireball.
Careful, careful. Gird yourself.
When is Sheppy ever careful?
That's true, that's true.
Touche.
He sees this opportune moment to just let loose in this room. He'll know that Arthurian can handle it, but he just kind of sends it all the way to the back of the room.
A roaring blast of fire appears at the spot you designate, dealing 66 fire damage. There you go, you got it. Okay.
Oh, look at that. Perfect. So Arthurian won't even... He'll feel the heat, but not in a damaging kind of way.
And Sheppy has dark vision, so he can see that point. All right, level 3 fireball.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, make your... I think it says reflex save, so that's DC 21. And it's a basic, so I'll just roll damage.
Yeah. Go ahead and see what you do. 16?
I've let Jesse down. There are a couple ones in there. Could have been better, but 16 is not bad at all.
And this is fire damage.
Yep, that is correct.
The flames crash against the back wall and erupt. You can feel the wave of heat just come back at you, Althea and Sheppy, and it just blows your hair back, Althea, lighting momentarily the entire back portion of the room. You see the creature, this tall, huge creature, writhe in pain as the flames begin to lick up its legs and around its arms and around its shoulders and even its face. It screams in pain. But then it shrugs it off. And it steps forward. Well, it will be stepping forward. You did some damage. We'll leave it at that. You got one more action. One more moment of time remains for you to do something fancy, Sheppy. You're doing considerable damage to this creature, by the way, if it's not apparent. Its bones are beginning to soot and turn black.
I don't know if Sheppy's used this one yet. And you know, actually, now that I look at it, it gives you, it says 1 to 3. So I guess we'd be doing the single cast time, but let me send it into the... Well, first I have to actually do that one, and then... Scorching Ray.
So it's just 2 or 3 action damage. Alright, that's that button. 1 action version.
Yeah, so there's only one target. Sheppy's like, more fire! But more a menacing kind of way, because he's very drawn to the flame.
Yes, yes, burned! Okay, make your attack roll to see if you can hit him with this ray of fire. More fire. Wow.
Fireball didn't require an attack roll, right? I just did the damage roll, and he did the basic save.
Yeah, you just have to put it in
Alright.
an area. Boom. It explodes.
Alright, just wanted to know if I had an attack penalty, but it looks like I don't.
Yeah. Good catch.
Yay! I made up for that last...
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I got
it's
a nat
critical.
20! I don't even think I saw the dice roll on my screen. It was just like, and here you go.
Alright, so you got a critical on that, so double your damage. Just roll critical damage, I guess. Whatever
It just says it's just doubled. So we'll click on damage, and then, so that's 14 fire damage. Geez, a lower level spell did almost as much damage as a higher level one. I guess feeling empowered by that first fireball and just wanting to send out more flames, he really put a lot of emphasis in this ray.
As the flames bite into this creature once again, this brief moment of energy, he reels even more so against this last attack. And it begins to look left and right almost as if it's confused, and it begins to stagger, dragging its feet left and right. Something happened here. You're not sure what, but it's acting quite differently. It's leaving itself open to strikes, perhaps. All right. Let me go to public again so you guys can see all the fun. All right. You're up, Lofter. Let me make you visible. You're up after the creature.
Yep.
You'll see yourself in the thing there. You could make your grand entrance. The sounds are coming from the south.
Yeah. So that's straight ahead for me, right?
Right.
Right.
Not yet.
Oh, sorry.
I'll let you know. You're up after the creature. The creature's
Oh,
thinking.
gotcha. I thought that was his turn. Okay.
All right, gonna roll a die. We're gonna consult the oracle. Okay. In its confused state, it begins to move past Arthurian and toward the source of its pain. The fires have died down now, and you see little flickers on its bones slowly disappear, and it comes towards you, Althea. It is right next to you.
If it attacks
Arthurian.
me, I'm going to use my reaction, which I have to announce before he attacks. But continue.
Right. He is going to attack you. You've got a reaction. But first, let's see if an attack of opportunity from Arthurian does any good. He's going to make his strike. As this creature begins to move towards Althea almost blindly, he gets a critical hit on this creature with his
Nice.
warhammer. And it crashes into this creature and smashes his leg. It begins to howl in pain. Almost at the instant it begins to raise its claw above you, Althea, to strike. You hear the dwarf.
Because of
You hear
respect from Nathan.
Let me finish. You hear the dwarf beyond let out a dwarven battle cry, and he screams, "Althea! Watch out!" And he strikes into the back leg of this creature, catching it and smashing it. It begins to topple backwards towards Arthurian. Arthurian just manages to avoid getting crushed by all these falling bones as he collapses in on itself on the ground. The bones just fall to the ground. It has been properly destroyed. Well done, Arthurian.
Nice.
I missed it. Darn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Jesse, you did miss it because Sheppy just let his true colors shine, and that color being orange and red, like the colors of fire. Because you did your fireball and like a ray of fire, like a scorching ray, that's what it was, and it was a critical success.
Nice.
So basically just you and Arthurian alone just took this thing out.
Wow.
Fireball, scorching ray, and that really did some damage. Even though the creature was showing resistance to fire, you still managed to decimate it with those flames.
And I'm sure Lofter's no longer hearing the sounds of battle, but more like the crackling of bone and flame.
Yes. We're going to stay in the combat tracker as we're going to go to Lofter. If you're up, what do you want to do, my friend?
Yeah, I hear lots of bone crunching and just the sound of almost bowling balls, or not really, bowling pins coming down.
That's it.
And sounds like something quite, I hear to hear dwarven roar or a scream. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So sounded quite interesting. Something definitely happened. So he doesn't take his time anymore and rushes to the door and opens it up to take a look at what happened.
Okay, you could step through that door and move where you want. Don't worry about Valen.
Yeah.
You're head to the south. South.
Oh, south that way. Oh, okay. I was thinking it was up above. Okay, and it's east.
The sounds were coming from the east, yes.
Okay.
You see that when you enter this chamber up ahead, the sounds were coming to the south. There's a little corridor there. You have to move forward one first.
Ah, okay. So yeah, he hustles down the corridor and opens the door.
You have one more action. I'll give you one more action.
I don't know if I'll be able to get past this point there.
The door's open.
Collides with one. Oh, do I just press it?
It's not letting you through. Let me put you in there.
Thank you. It was showing red for me, so I couldn't.
Dizzy, as Lofter steps into the room, Dizzy, you're at the doorway, and you hear movement behind you. You hear a door open, and as you turn about and look, you see someone in the Atari tabard, the guard. You've seen this individual before. He's a representative of the Atari Guard, although you've never met him, but you're the first one to spot him. And likewise, Lofter, as you step into this room, to the south, in the southwest corner, you see someone standing in the doorway, someone in dark robes. Dizzy, what do you do?
I guess I would have turned around, seen the individual coming in. She would probably take one look at him. And as he stated what he's wearing, would she recognize him as an ally?
Yes,
Okay.
unless it's someone deceiving you. Now, it's up to you to determine if you're going to be a little bit cautious with this. I mean, you are in the gauntlight. There's no telling who this individual might really be. But he does look familiar. Like you've seen him before. Perhaps in Atari, for sure. He's got the tabard of the Atari Guard on him.
Glancing between them and her companions behind her, she would go on a blind guess, thinking that he is an ally, seeing the colors, the symbols on him, and she would raise a hand, like motioning him rapidly to, like, without really saying anything, like trying to get him to like join as quick as he could.
And Lofter, how do you reply to that?
Well, like you said, he recognizes her from the town. He does know that the companions were coming this way, and knows that the the roster has changed over time. And knowing her reputation, he kind of puts it together in a few seconds that yeah, she's probably with them, more than likely, and so he'll just not feel threatened, but definitely want to know what that noise was, and sees a lot of commotion behind her, so he will follow her lead on that.
All right. Let me see if I could turn him into a pile of bones. This creature. I think I can. return him to his previous state. This should do it.
Now, while Agatha is doing this, would the rest of her companions possibly hear laughter coming towards them?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's made his appearance. He's standing next to you at this stage. Agatha, you're at the doorway. Everybody else behind you. You can hear a sigh of relief coming from the other companions. As obviously this creature has been defeated. We're out of combat, so we'll end that.
You see Sheppy sitting there. He's not saying anything. He's breathing heavy. And he's kind of giggling to himself. Because you could tell that he just did something that he's very happy with.
Cassandra walks over to Arthurian and she just says, "We took the brunt of that, did we not, my friend? And I will treat wounds on the two of us."
Okay. Silence once again returns to the companions. If you want to do a little bit of recovery after this, you have a respite in time here to do so. Cassandra's demonstrating that now. So go ahead, whatever you guys want to do.
If Cassandra's going to be doing that, Agatha is going to move her way past the group, and she's going to make her way to where the smoldering mess of bones are, and she's going to try and see if she's... Well, once she gets to the pile of bones, she's going to cast Discern Secrets on herself, and then she's going to try and do Recall Knowledge to see if there's something about this creature that kind of sticks out in her mind. If the gods will allow it.
I can't hear you.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I was muted. While you step forward into the bones and do your Discern Secrets, what are the rest of you doing?
Althea's addressing Lofter's appearance. Like, "Oh, Lofter, is that you? How'd you get here? All by yourself?"
Yeah, it seems I missed the fun.
Oh,
What just
I
happened?
take it you've seen the things that we might have left behind.
And smelled them too.
Oh, I can only imagine that after this amount of time's gone by, that they don't smell very well.
No.
Yeah, you've just missed it. We've taken out this creature. I don't know if it was a guardian of some type. Only big things tend to stick around important objects, or if any indication, what we've seen so far seems to be the case. Do you want to help us look around?
Well, you said creature. I'd see lots of remnants of creatures down there. What?
It's very hard to describe, but imagine they had all formed into a single being and kind of just laid its bony elbows right into your face. She's trying to describe it as best she can, but she kind of kept her distance the whole time. And she'll also add that most of this has also been charred, so any type of help would be great. But what have you come down here for? Do you have any news of Otari, or have you just come to assist us?
Really, yeah, the latter. I knew you all went out again and had some time off, so I really just... Things with this gauntlight thing has, it really does something for this town, and would really like to just see this all resolved as soon as possible.
Well, it's great to see your face again and to have you with us. This gauntlight, it seems to be never ending. It's just one room after another, and sometimes we feel like we're never closer to figuring things out, but we have to keep going.
That makes sense.
Is Sheppy getting any other magic pings besides necromancy with his detect magic?
No. You are sensing. I'll get back to you on that. I have to look it up, but you are
Right.
sensing something new.
I cast Discern Secrets.
Okay, put that in the chat. What is that going to give you a bonus?
Already pinged it for you.
So you get a +1 status.
Mm-hmm. And she was going to do a recall knowledge on this creature.
All right. Go ahead and. Unless you have a specific lore relating to such topics as bones and undead, go ahead and make a religion roll. That would be most appropriate.
Wouldn't that fall under occultism?
No, this is
Okay.
a separate skill. All you know is that there was some type of magic, necromantic obviously, that brought this creature, this undead creature, together. It's made up of many bones of smaller creatures. So it's not a single creature in its own. It's actually the magic put it together into this large giant-like version. You do notice that a lot of these bones you've never seen before. These strange skull shapes and misshapen arms and extra long finger bones on this thing. Very, very disturbing. Not a normal humanoid type of creature. Or creatures that made this creature up. I'm not sure what that is.
Agatha's going to... Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Go ahead. You finish.
I was going to say, Agatha's going to try one more time and see if she can dig a little deeper into her memory to see if she can find something, if that's allowed.
Okay. You can do that.
Alright.
And while Agatha is doing this, trying to discern secrets, what are the rest of you doing? Now, Arthurian got 12 points back, I believe, from some little medical care.
Yep, that's right.
All right.
Sorry, does Agatha share with us that she's searching?
Yeah, she would have called up to the group that she was going to move forward and see if she can try and figure out why this creature was attacking and where it came from.
Okay. Did you already roll? Sorry.
Yeah.
She's all good.
Okay.
I'll give her the
Okay,
results
gotcha.
of that in a bit.
Yep.
Anything else?
Well, if we're gonna spend another set of actions, I can treat Arthurian and myself again.
Well, at the moment, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I join Cassandra and Arthurian in the corner, and I take out my own medical tools and start patching myself up.
And Sheppy's looking for this new source of magic that he's sensing.
Oh, yes. Let me look into that real quick. It's like a dice laying all over the place here. Can't read things.
Arthurian gets another 6.
Okay. Now, this is the school, right?
Yeah.
You sense the presence somewhere. Conjuration magic. Conjuring. I'm gonna write that down. And what was that? 6 points to Arthurian? Okay. Arthurian's in shadow mode tonight. He appreciates it. Now, Agatha. While this is all happening, you're looking at these bones, and nothing new comes to your mind. You've never seen these creatures that made up this large creature. It looks like that as you entered the chamber, some type of magic, necromancy perhaps, brought these bones together and became the sinews of those bones and tendons that held it in place and allowed it to walk and attack. But once enough damage was done, those bones fell to the ground and collapsed all around you. The magic doesn't seem to remain. That's about all you could discern from that.
Agatha would let out this sigh of absolute frustration of not being able to get that much information. And just holding one of the skulls in her hand, the group would probably behind her would hear like the skull beginning to crack in her hand just from her anger. As she's like just looking over the bones, just not happy that she can't tell the group what it is that caused the creature to rise up.
As far as you can tell, it was magic. Magic was at play here. Dark magic.
Now, I'm going to take a guess. The area right here, would Agatha be able to see that?
You have dark vision, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You can see it. Let me do a little description here for you guys. Just to refresh our minds. Overturned tables and benches scattered all around. They look to be made of some type of petrified wood. The pale bones lie before you. Agatha, interspersed with these furnishings. You see all along the walls of this chamber several preserved monster-like creatures. Their heads adorn the walls. Silver plaques adorn these walls as well. Your attention, however, Agatha, where you pointed there in the southeast, as you look close at it, this little area, this circle, it looks like a glowing circle of runes etched on the floor. There was a slight blue glow to them. Faint. Do you move closer?
Through her connection that she has with her familiar, she's going to, through a series of emotions, try and get her familiar to return to her before she's gonna move forward and get down on her knees to see if she can study the glowing circle.
All right, you turn about, trying to connect with your familiar, who is in the other room, right? Yes.
Correct.
Okay. And you wait and you pause. You hold your temples, looking in that direction. What about the rest of you? Sheppy, what's going on? You're muted.
Sheppy says, wait. Conjuration magic is in this room. I think it's that circle. If I'm correct, it may be a teleportation. I don't know if you want to step in that.
Do you want to get closer to it?
Maybe throw a bone in it or something.
That's actually a good idea, Sheppy. Try it out.
Yeah. I roll a skull into it.
All right. As you do that, what are the rest of you doing? And where are you? Move yourself where you would be. You're all hunkered in that corner there. I'm not sure. It's like a powwow.
That was the healing corner.
It was.
Yeah, that's where we were all addressing our wounds. Althea is going to be standing in front of the, what is that creature called? Not chimera, but the lion goat creature, that plaque, and she's just going to be staring at it.
Okay.
It seems I'm colliding with a wall, trying to go south. I'm not sure why.
If you're having a tough time moving the token, are you using the mouse? Go ahead and use the directional buttons.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah.
They work when you get in a situation like that.
Silly.
Okay, so you're all gathering near this Agatha. I see what you're looking at, Althea. It is actually on the wall, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you're taking a close look at these heads that are on the wall. Okay.
Yeah, she's spotted quite a few interesting things decorating this room, and she's trying to get a closer look to see if they're real, or if they're like stuffed or like taxidermied or what they are.
And Sheppy, you're rolling a little bone onto the thing?
Yeah, skull.
Okay, let me move you down there. All right. All right. You grab a little loose skull. It's a skull you've never seen before. It's small, but it was part of this creature. You roll it into what looks like a large circle. It's about 10 foot around. You've seen these before. I think Farley said that, yeah, they were some type of teleportation type of thing. There's a glow all around where you see the etching, the runes and the circles and the markings. The skull rolls into the center of this circle. Nothing happens. Let me roll a dice here for Althea. I'm gonna roll. You stand there looking at these lifeless heads of creatures, like as if they were meant to adorn the walls after some prize hunting, perhaps. Who knows? You do notice that these are not just ordinary creatures. The goat has a strange pair of tentacles hanging from each side of its neck. Next to it, you see another creature that it looks almost like a lion, but yet something is very odd about it. It has a large growth near the top of its skull that a lion wouldn't have, and its fangs are exceptionally long. Very unnatural. Cassandra, what are you doing? Hanging back there with Lofter.
So she's watching the others. She's still pretty badly hurt. So she's watching the others, waiting for them to test the magic of the conjuration in the room. She's got one hand on her side where she's patched herself up as best she could after the critical strike from the bone creature. But she's ready to go into combat stance if through their dealings with the magic they summon it back again.
Okay. And Lofter, you're standing at the ready? Weapons out?
Yes, correct. I got my long sword out and shield strapped
Alright.
and ready to go.
I'm going to have Cassandra make a blind perception roll for me. You could make that. And we'll go back to the goblin and the witch. The skull comes to rest near the center of this portal. Nothing happens. Outside a few shifting feet behind you, Agatha, of your friends, nothing else happens. What do you do?
At this point, would her familiar be back at her side?
Oh yes, the familiar.
Okay.
As you watch the skull come to a halt, you see motion on the wall, just in front of you, right here. You see movement in the webbing. You immediately look towards that and you see the little white presence of your familiar. There he is. His many eyes are looking right at you. You feel the connection with your familiar. He's staring at you.
She's gonna place a hand on the ground and then she's gonna motion for her familiar to come over to her.
And he comes down off the wall towards your hands. And he runs up your palm, up your shoulder. And you feel his presence right on the left of your shoulder, under your hair. You sense whisperings coming through your ears. Although you don't understand them, but you know your familiar is close once again. Well, he didn't sound like that.
She'll rearrange her hair so that her familiar is completely covered, so people wouldn't even know that she's got a little creature hidden underneath her hair until she moves it.
Okay. All right. With
Then-
that,
Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. What was Agatha going to do? So it's all quiet at this moment. The skull has come to rest. Your familiar has rejoined you once again, Agatha. Your friends are behind you. You got Sheppy the goblin next to you. They're all looking blankly at this circle.
Agatha is going to slowly but timidly reach her hand out and gently put her hand into the circle that's got these glowing runes.
You reach out
Sheppy's
toward
going
the
to try
circle.
to stop her.
Do you resist, Agatha?
She does.
You stop her in time, Sheppy.
Okay. Wait. I have an idea. Does someone have a rope?
I do, Lofter says as he walks up.
Do you volunteer to step in?
Oh,
We'll
sorry.
hold the rope.
Certainly. So he
Okay.
takes his pack off and pulls his rope out. And I actually have a python that I can tie to. I can secure to the ground if need be.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Or just grappling hook, whichever we need.
All right, so you're fastening the rope to this. And what?
To the pit.
The pitten, yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll find a place, maybe either across the room or maybe into the ground if there's a spot I can really.
You could easily hammer it into
Hammer
the
it
ground
down.
and wrap the rope around it easily.
Yep.
With
And then
plenty
give
of
the other
excess
end.
rope.
Give the other end to you all.
Okay. what next?
Agatha's looking at Sheppy. She's going, "What are you doing with the rope?"
Well, if he goes in and he gets teleported, we could pull him back out. Maybe.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
What's your intentions here? What do you want to do?
Agatha's
Yeah.
gonna shake. Agatha's gonna shake her head. She goes, "If you send him in, and we can't get him out, besides Arthurian, he is one of our. He's one of the people that can take a lot of damage. If he is taken from us and we can't get him back, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. That's why I'm willing to volunteer to go first."
Cassandra, you have a very uneasy feeling come over you.
As
Like
regards what?
as if there's a presence watching you. You're
So
not
she
sure
just-
where.
She just
you
whispers
feel
to
it?
the others, "We are not alone. We are observed."
Well, that's
Of course,
comforting.
hearing that, I just turn around and I start looking around as if there's going to be a body somewhere watching us. Like, where?
You can make a blind perception if you're looking around. I'll let you have that. Put that in there. Althea? But other than that, what are you guys doing, Lofter, Agatha, and Sheppy, with that rope? Who's gonna tie it around their waist and step into
I
the
guess
casino?
Agatha is volunteering.
Agatha's volunteering to go in.
Are you tying the rope around you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys are good with that?
You're a brave lass. I'm afraid if I were to go in, which I would be willing, I wouldn't know what to do on the other side. If I were.
Let me put you right here. She ties the rope around her waist. You all stand at the ready, waiting to see what happens as Agatha, the witch, begins to take the first few steps towards this circle of runes. And as she begins to cross the outer ring, the glow gets a little intense, more so as she reaches the center of it. And suddenly, there are flames all around her. She is almost engulfed in blue, glowing flames. You do not feel anything other than a comforting heat, Agatha. At first you flinch, but then you realize it's not damaging you. Sheppy, you see Agatha. Now, Agatha, describe to me what your character, how she's dressed. What does her face look like? What is her? Does she have a hat? Is there a cowl over her? Can anyone see your face?
She would have had her hood pulled down, revealing the markings and such on her face and the hair pieces, so they would be able to see what's going on her
So-
facials.
The very pale flesh would be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Materializing on her forehead, Sheppy, Lofter, you both see it just suddenly appear, this maybe 1.5 inches in size. You see this marking, a sigil of a sort, begins to appear on her forehead. And just as you lock into this sigil, she disappears from sight.
What's the rope doing?
It falls limp to the stone floor. She's no longer there, and the blue flames suddenly dissipate and die. Only the blue glow remains. She has disappeared. Now, before we go any further, give me a moment here. You guys can react to that, except you, Dizzy.
Yeah, as far as the rope, is it still look like it's coiled as if it was wrapped around her body? It just drops.
It just drops. Where it was held tight around her waist, she disappears and the rope just falls to the stone floor, as
Got
if
it.
she just disappeared.
Well, it's obvious she got teleported somewhere. I don't think it was hurting her.
To find her way back.
Yeah, this could be a problem. I
Obvious,
think
huh?
we all have to go.
Is that you volunteering second?
Wait,
Well-
how do we know she was teleported? How?
Exactly. How do we know this?
So, we did this blue flame, this light, look very similar to the light from the gauntlight. I feel like we had some other time previously where we keep seeing this blue light.
It's similar, but maybe a little bit fainter.
I do sense conjuration.
Mm.
Now, Dizzy,
Mm-hmm.
prepare yourself. You do have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
You have no other lights. With a blink of an eye, your friends are gone. They've disappeared. They're no longer in front of you. You're also surrounded by darkness. The light coming from Althea, the magical light, is gone. You see yourself in like a little alcove, maybe 10 foot wide and maybe 30 feet east to west. Can you see that on the map right now?
I really can't see anything. It's all just complete black.
You do have dark vision.
Is there a
Let's
token
verify
on the
that.
map?
It is.
Hmm.
Let me make sure she's not invisible. No, you're there. You should be able to see from your token.
Mm-mm.
Let me double check your thing here. It should automatically detect your dark vision. You should see in black and white. If not, I can fix that. Oh, you don't have dark vision. That's why. You have low light vision. You need some type of light to be able to see anything. So, you don't actually see those walls. Let me retcon slightly. I thought you had dark vision. You don't. You see complete blackness surrounding you. Everyone is gone. You hear nothing except some type of shifting motion ahead of you. What do you do, Dizzy? Quickly.
She's going to get down on all fours.
As soon as you move, suddenly, you find a glow beneath your feet. The rings return. You see the sigils and the runes once again appear. A very faint blue light begins to emanate. You're standing in a circle. One of those very similar to what you were standing in before. But you don't see your friends, and it's not enough to see what lies ahead. You can't see the walls or anything. You're still in blackness, darkness, as you kneel down.
Trying to see if she has any kind of lighting in her bag.
As you shift around looking for a torch or anything to light this chamber, you hear a sickly sound coming from the further wall to the west. Something seems to be coming in your direction. You hear wet footfalls coming closer to you. While you ponder that, we're going to go back to the others. Now, of course, you guys have no clue what happened to Agatha. You're standing there. You still see the faint glow of the runes and sigils in this ring. You have no idea where she went. You pull the rope towards you and look at it, and it hasn't been untied. It should have held her. This obviously is some type of teleportation circle. Perhaps standing in its center is what activated it.
Sheppy's feeling kind of bad that he let her go. So he's making a step towards the circle.
You do
His
so.
intention is to follow.
And I took a look around the room. Did I see anything? Like when Cassandra said that we're being watched? I just kind of became a little alert and was like looking around.
You could have swore you seen motion up towards the door. Shadows from your magical light, perhaps. But you don't hear anything, other than the mutterings of Sheppy and laughter.
I don't think entering the strange blue flame circle was the right idea. We probably should have looked around first and then saw where this would lead us, or God forbid if Agatha, that was the last we'll ever see and the flame just killed her. We don't see any other kind of remnants, right?
Nothing.
No ash or anything like that.
Now,
Alright, so Sheppy.
yes, you see that, right? Rachel, you see that?
Yeah, Sheppy, Jesse, you see my screen?
You're
Oh, he
muted,
went
Jesse.
on mute. He might have had to step away.
No, I'm here.
Okay,
I see what you see.
good. Well, bad, but good.
Yeah.
So, Sheppy, you step through, or you step onto the center of this, and once again you all see these blue flames engulf the ring, and you almost can't see Sheppy anymore. He is small to begin with, and sneaky and shady, but he suddenly disappears, and the flames die down once again. And Sheppy, with a blink of an eye, you open and you see, surrounded by darkness, you see the walls that I described earlier. You see something to the west, something moving, something big, something large and horrifying. It catches your attention immediately as you move through. Agatha, of course, is right next to you as well, and you both stand in this little circular, circle with similar runes glowing lightly. You look at Agatha. You see a mark on her forehead, and Agatha, as you look towards the goblin, you take a double take, for on his forehead you see a strange mark as well. There's some type of sigil on his forehead.
Can I recall knowledge on that, what we see?
You can. first, there's going to be an initiative. So, Sheppy, I'm going to you could put yourself, I guess, into the tracker there. And Agatha as well. Put yourself in the tracker because this creature that you could see from the far end of the wall towards the west begins to move towards you.
Uh-oh, there's 2 Sheppies now.
Now we're in trouble.
Is there? Yeah, there is 2 Sheppies. What's going on here?
I rolled for one of them.
Alright, let's get rid of this one, I guess.
Close the tracker and do it again, I guess.
That's
Oh, that
good.
worked.
And I'm going to go back to the others in a second here. But first... Well, let's go to the others first before I show you what you see. I think you can see it, Sheppy. Correct? So, what about the rest of you? Lofter, Cassandra? Your friends have disappeared. And Althea? What do you do? Sheppy's gone.
Yeah, Lofter turns to the others and said, should we follow him in? Are you all coming?
Well, if they have no way of communicating back to us, then without being separated forever, we might have to follow them.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Safety in
thinking, too.
numbers.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't like the idea of this, but I think...
Nor I, but I suppose we can't abandon them because their curiosity got the best of them.
Yes. We'll have to have a talk with them after, but... so Althea will abandon her gazing of these creatures, and she'll make the next step into the center. And as she does, she says, "Wish me luck."
Good luck, Althea.
Or better yet, see you on the other side.
Assuming that's not the afterlife.
Yeah, well, they don't know.
Alright, before we get to that, alright, we're going to go back to Sheppy and we're going to go back to Agatha. Only you two are in this engagement here. Now, double checking here, you can see what I'm describing. This almost lizard reptilian-like creature, large, hanging out towards the west of the room. You can see that, correct? You should be.
He can
Not-
see it. I can't.
Yeah, Agatha, you can't, but you can see that, Sheppy. Or
Yes,
Rachel.
we were. Actually, so when I went to click back to the old map to see Althea and the others in the room with all the bones,
I have to bring you
It-
back again.
you have to bring me back again. Yeah, the map was no longer available to switch to.
All right, let's do it this way. Is everybody's intention to get into the portal and see what lies
Yes.
beyond? All right.
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll bring you all over here. Let me make your tokens visible here, but take no actions until we come to you. I think that's everybody but Lofter. Let me grab your token, Lofter. I don't have you on this map. There you And I'll put you guys back here. I'll make sure you're all visible and you'll be able to see this in a second. And I'll bring you over here to this new
I have a
map.
question after you cross us all over.
Okay. And that should also bring Althea's light, which we'll leave out at the moment.
Yeah.
All right, what's up, Ryan?
Yeah, as we're crossing over, kind of taking a look at the sigil on everyone's forehead. Is it different, or does it look the same for everybody?
At this moment in time, you only notice the one sigil on Agatha. You won't
Okay.
be able to verify anything else until you get to the other side. And
Right, okay. That's what I meant after we crossed over, but it's kind of dark anyway, so never mind.
all right. Let me make sure. Blind. Let's put that in the chat. Okay, so here's what happens. Okay. You see this large creature, Sheppy, step forward. He takes a brief step forward, and suddenly it looks in your direction. If you could picture a big old dinosaur maw looking in your direction, that's what it looks like. And his eyes look towards both you and your friend Agatha. And suddenly it opens its maw and it begins to screech out this loud scream. You're going to have to make a basic reflex save. So let me roll that. Go ahead and make a basic reflex save. And Agatha,
Is that
you
everybody?
as well. No, you guys aren't there yet. Just Agatha and Sheppy will make a basic reflex save.
Do I have a hero point?
I do too, if I need it.
Actually, I just realized I didn't have on blind roll. I'm gonna re-roll that if that's okay.
There's Sheppy's roll. You good with that? Got a 12
What,
and
a
a 14.
I think I'm going to reroll.
You're on blind for some reason, Agatha. Or is that me rolling that? What's happening?
I just sent Sheppy's reroll, and I did have that on blind before, so it rerolled blind.
All right, Sheppy, you got a 22.
Oh boy.
Reveal to everyone. So you got a 22. Agatha, you got a 21. It's not showing you either, I guess. Let me reveal that. So 21 and a 22. Okay? You're both going to take some damage as the screeching sound pierces your eardrums. You grab towards your ears in pain. 25 points. Of sonic damage. Oops.
Yeesh.
Yikes.
Sheppy, you're up.
Sheppy's going to take a 5-foot step and look in that doorway to the south. Looking for a way to get out of here.
All right, the door is closed. It's a double door. It's a large double door. It'll take some time to push it open. You'll be at 2
I wonder if
actions.
is there a circle here still? I can't tell.
Now that you look down, you do see the glow. It's a very faint glow all around you. You are standing in the circle.
So Sheppy's going to step out of the circle and then step back into the circle. What happens?
Well, Agatha's still in it. As you step out and back in, everything goes black. And in a blink of an eye, you appear once again with your friends. The others, they're all coming in and closing in on the circle at this point. Lofter, Cassandra, they're all like as if they were about to step into it. You suddenly appear. I'll give you one more brief moment to do something. What do you do? Sheppy.
What I see there is that what I see?
You're back where you started from.
Okay, I'm in the other room.
Yes. Standing in a circle.
Althea, do I have any scrolls of message or anything? I thought maybe I had something in my equipment.
I'm not sure he could see. Let me make you visible again on this map. All right, well, you go through your bag. We're going to go to Agatha. Agatha, you're up. You just saw Sheppy after this piercing screech coming from something that's to the west of you. You can't see or make it out. You hear this loud exploding sound in your ears, writhing in pain. Just out of the corner of your eye, you see Sheppy just step out of the circle briefly and back in, and you're sure he just disappeared. What do you do?
So she can't. So she can't see anything, but she can. Is she able to figure out where the direction of where the screech came from?
To the west.
Okay.
The sound was emanating from the west. To the left of your screen, I believe.
You heard Sheppy come in and out, though, right?
I was right next to her.
Yeah.
I tapped her on the shoulder as I left.
Heard? Not really heard, but just saw him disappear. You're sure he disappeared. As he stepped back into the circle next to you, Agatha, he suddenly can't be seen. He's nowhere to be seen. Of course, remember, you're surrounded by darkness. You're not sure. You don't hear him.
Probably should have said something as I was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a quick, hey, it's Sheppy, come back into the circle.
All right, Agatha, I'm going to give you two more moments to do something.
Agatha is gonna go on a risk, and from the direction that she heard, she's going to cast a fireball at least 50 feet to the west.
The answer to every problem in life. Now,
She
here's
needs
the
light
thing.
and she needs it bad.
All right, here's the thing. You have to be able to visually see your target. Not the target creatures, but the target point. You're surrounded by blackness.
As far as you know, you could be shooting it into a wall right next to you.
You can't see the floor. You can't see the far wall. It's not really a viable option because you don't know where to place it. You don't know if it's in front of you. There's no solid surface to, like, here's where it will emanate and appear. But if you want to take a chance at hurling it forward as far away as you can, I'll let you do that.
I'll take the chance.
All right, I'm going to have you make a roll. You're going to make a flat D20 roll.
Okay.
This is flat. This is flat. No modifiers. describe for us what this looks like as you begin to prepare the casting, the words, the motions, the sounds that you make as you try to get this spell off in a direction, hopefully, that is towards whatever this target is. What does that look like?
As she's trying to form this slow glow of twisted colors of red and yellow, her head is just pounding from the screech that she heard, and it's kind of jarred her a little bit, but she's trying to put all the focus that she has into the direction that she heard the screech come from, and then just bringing her hand back, she's gonna try and throw the fireball in that direction that she's aiming.
Okay. And as you're doing this, and the words begin to come from your mouth strongly and powerfully, you can't see, but it doesn't matter. You close your eyes. And at that moment, as you go through the motions and the words and your eyes are closed, you hear a sound coming in your left ear. It's some type of whispering. Something is speaking to you. You recognize it. It's the spider. Somehow you don't know what it is. It's speaking to you. And as your eyes are closed, suddenly light appears. You begin to visualize a far wall. Maybe 30 feet from you. You see it. You begin to hone in on it. You know what this is. You see there's some type of creature in front of this wall. It's big, it's huge, it's scaly. But as you visualize that far wall, it's about 30 feet from you. You can focus on it. Do you continue with the enchantment? Do you continue the words of this spell? Do you continue to cast it on that point on the wall?
She does.
All right, put the spell in the chat. I just want to look at one thing. 20-foot burst. Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage. That's going to be 66.
Ugh. Out of ones.
Yeah, wow.
18 fire damage. And the DC to save is 21. You got 18. Okay. Okay. You release the energy. 30 feet away, you see a flash and an explosion, and you can see silhouetted in front of this, before it is engulfed in flames, you see this large creature. I'm going to briefly make it visible to you, Agatha.
Okay.
Do you see that?
I see.
That's what you see. That's how big it is. That's what you see only briefly. As the flames explode on an area that, although you could not see, in your mind, it appeared. Something gave you that information. This creature screeches in pain as it's engulfed in fire, but only for a moment. And the flames begin to die down. It shakes off the pain, and once again, it looks in your direction. And the lights go black once again. Agatha, you no longer see the creature. Now, we're going to go to round 2. Now, I'm going to bring everybody else into this. I believe you're all on this map. Let me double check. Yes, you are. And we are going to put you in the initiative as you all... Well, let's go back. Are you all going to go into the portal?
Well, would we still after Sheppy came back?
At this point, what do you do when you see Sheppy suddenly appear?
Well, I
Sheffy's
imagine.
gonna say, "Bad, bad. We have to get her out of there. Not good."
I'm
Dragon.
about to put my first foot forward, and then I just instantly stop and listen to what Sheppy's got to say. What do you mean?
Somebody's got to knock her out of the circle and then pull her back in, because she's gonna die.
All right, I put you all in the tracker. And before we go any further, roll your initiatives. It's going to be perception for all three of you. Lofter, Althea, and Cassandra. Sheppy, you're already in initiative. I'll let you say what you said to these folks. I'm going to see where they fall in the initiative here. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Best to get the one out in the initiative, right?
Yeah.
You can use a hero point to re-roll that.
Sometimes it's good to go last.
Gosh. I will let it go. I'll let it go. It was last time. I'll go again. You guys had pretty high rolls, so go ahead.
Okay. Sheppy. All right. Before you guys take any actions, ponder what you're thinking here. If you want to say anything else about what to do it now before I move on.
Well, who's gonna go in and get her? We have to knock her out of the circle and bring her back.
What kind of conditions were there, Sheppy?
It's a hallway, and at the end of the hallway, it's like this giant lizard creature that just took half my life away with one scream. And she's all alone in the darkness. She can't see.
Is she
All
close
right.
to the portal?
Yes, she's in the portal. She needs to get out of it and back in, as well as you, if you go through.
I can go in
Agatha.
and just grab her if need be.
Agatha, you hear feet coming in your direction, and they're getting louder and louder. And as you kind of hunker down there in this circle and these feet get closer and closer, there's a pause. It's just this hot air begins to hit the back of your head and the shoulders. I assume you're kind of kneeling down, correct or no?
She is. She's kneeling down. She's clutching her head because she's in so much pain.
Something is mere inches from feet from you, and it's breathing on the back of your neck. Cassandra, Sheppy has stepped through. Oh, we gotta go back. We gotta get her back. We don't know what to do. You're up. What do you do?
I step through.
All right, you're gonna jump right in through. Out of the way. All right. It'll take a move action to get in there, and in a brief moment, a flash erupts of blue flame. And you are now... Let me put you where you should be. I'm going to put you right here. Right next to Agatha. You appear right next to her. You have 2 more actions. You probably can't see anything.
I can't.
That's why Althea asked what the conditions were like.
Yeah.
You can see, but nobody
otherwise,
else can.
I would have just cast light on you, and but I wanted you guys to get it on your own. But we'll figure it out.
That's what they all say. We'll figure it out.
Um,
so-
I'll light a torch.
Where are your torches right now? Do you have them on your belt, or are they in your backpack? Is it
In
gonna
my
take some
backpack.
time? All right, it's going to take you an action to root into the backpack, another action to get it out. I'll let you
Okay.
light one. I'll let you light one.
Okay. So that'll be my 3 actions then.
And that's what you see.
You know, I saw it in black and white, and I was like, I have a feeling this thing's green.
Yeah, me too.
And oh yeah, look at that.
All right, so you're standing there, Cassandra. You got a torch out. We're going to go to Althea. Now you're still back at the portal. You see Sheppy. Cassandra step through. It's you and Lofter and Sheppy at the moment. Cassandra just disappeared. And the blue flames die down around her, where she was standing. Obviously, whoever steps in the center of this teleports somewhere. You're not sure. There's a party somewhere.
Yeah, but not the party I want to go to. Regardless, Althea, knowing that there's Cassandra's just run into danger, she's gonna be, in. I wouldn't want to stay behind if they need me, so she rushes through as well, and steps into the center of the circle.
Okay, so you're already there on the map.
Okay.
You're in the same square as Cassandra, so you're both flat-footed at this point. Remember that.
Okay.
If you want to move off it, you can do so.
Yeah, you should totally do
Nah.
that. Instead of us both being flat-footed?
She still has 2 more actions to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you wanted to cast a spell?
Well, you know what? Maybe I have calm emotions, but this thing's probably too good to, just.
You have Divine Lance or something?
Just something to stun it so we can get away. Because Althea doesn't want. After seeing this, she definitely doesn't want to go through this path. She wanted to stay in the previous room and look around. She's going to grab Agatha and kind of drag her off and back into the center, like the 2 of them together.
Do you resist, Agatha?
She wouldn't resist that. She's just clutching her head.
Yeah, and Althea is just like, this way, follow me. We have to get off and get back on. This will send us back. If possible, because I do have 2 hands free, I would very much like to do Cassandra and Agatha. Just kind of like run, get in between the 2 of them, step
Just
off,
pull.
and then take a step back with all 3 of us in there.
So you're trying to get back teleported to the other room.
Yeah, like as swiftly as possible without issue. Obviously.
All right. And Agatha, you're in for this. And Cassandra, what about you? As you got this torch lit at the final moment, are you going to resist somebody like Althea suddenly appearing, you assume it's her, and kind of nudging you forward and pulling you back in? She's trying to do both of you.
I wouldn't
just
resist.
told him.
She trusts Althea completely.
All right, so I just want to know if anyone's resisting.
Nope. Agatha wouldn't. Like I said, she'd be in so much pain and just clutching her head.
All right. In that case, let me make one little roll here. Complications. All right, Althea. I'll give it to you. Spoiled my combat.
Her heart's racing. She's doing this. This is crazy. But look at the size of that thing. Oh my god, Sheppy wasn't kidding. Her mouth is just running. It's freaking out.
As quickly as you appear, boom, there you are. Without hesitation, you look to the left and you see Agatha, and you look to the right and she's right in front of you, lighting a torch. And just as she does so, you grab hold of the back of their belts. Or with Agatha, it's not too hard. You push her forward and grab her and pull her back in. In one moment of perfection, you manage to pull this off, including yourself. Off and on. And as you do so, you all disappear, all 3 of you. And you appear once again. Vroom. And there you see Lofter and Sheppy standing before you.
you guys okay? Did you make it?
I look to my left and my right and make sure that I'm holding both of them and I have both. Yeah, I think we're okay. Everybody off the circle.
Here, take this table, put it in front of it.
You all notice that you all have, everybody that went through, including you, Sheppy, you all notice you have these sigils, these about 1.5 inch sigil on your forehead. You all see it. It's not glowing, but it's like a mark, and it remains on your head.
Is it giving out a magical aura?
Not that you can tell. No, it's just black soot.
Can I recall knowledge on this? Like
You could.
What is this? This is what a curious marking.
Yeah, we all should, actually.
If you want to take the time to do that, go ahead and give me any of the 4 traditions.
Yes.
Whichever one you want. Arcane, occult.
I think
So
I'm
on.
going to need some help looking into this. If anybody has a second just to look into it, I feel like this is probably more occultism, but I'm gonna try to look back
Sheppy's-
into my religious background and figure
Sheppy's
out
trained
what
in
is it.
occultism.
All right, then Sheppy, look into this with me too. All right,
While Sheppy's doing that, Cassandra's going to try and patch him and her up.
Okay, go ahead and make those medicine checks.
Agatha's gonna try and go off to the side away from the group and take her familiar out, put it off to a side of her, and then she's gonna try and cast harm on herself to heal.
Sheppy, that was you, 14 hit points.
Yeah, Agatha, you gotta
Okay.
get out of here. Now with you, Agatha, medicine checks have no effect on you.
Yeah, she's gonna try and cast harm on herself.
Oh,
You could do that, so go ahead and make that roll unless you already did. And treat it just like a heal spell. 1, 2, or 3 actions. In your case, it would be 2, and the target would be you.
Yeah, don't do a 3 action. That wouldn't be good.
Yeah, negative damage for everybody. Whoopsie.
Alright, so which one would I be hitting?
do the 2 action because
Yeah, because you'd be hitting everybody. It's like 20
Yeah.
feet.
You'd click versus undead. Level 1, so yeah. You'll get that back. So there's your healing. Now, who was looking at these sigils?
Althea and Sheppy. Sheppy's looking at from an occultism standpoint, and I'm looking at from a religious point of view.
And Lofter, I'll take a look as well. Maybe just in case, I'll check Primal.
Are you trained in Primal?
Yes, nature.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Okay. You all can identify this. This is the marking of a lesser spell, known as the Sigil spell. This is a cantrip. You all recognize this. You can identify it. It's essentially the sigil spell. If you look up the sigil spell, you can learn its details. In a nutshell, the mark can be removed. You can get rid of it. You can rub it off. It takes a little time. Otherwise, it remains for as long as a week. And it's usually a way for a wizard to mark something, to identify it. Simple. So evidently,
Yeah, so
stepping onto
who
this,
have we been
this
marked
portal.
by?
Yeah, that's the question. Stepping onto this. Well, you know what? Hold on here. I will reveal something here since you're looking at this sigil. I mean, you know what magical power it has and what this is for, but does it say anything? Is there some kind of indication? That's the real question.
Maybe these marks will help us teleport through the other circles that are in the upper levels.
Maybe.
I'll tell you what you can identify from looking at it if it means anything in a second here. You guys can discuss until I can find it here.
I'll actually be right back real quick.
Okay. Because my journal entries are not opening on the map.
So a sigil is just a mark from a wizard to identify something. I don't have a book to
Yeah.
look at, so
Essentially, yeah.
would I be able to identify the sorcerer or
No,
wizard?
not likely. Is there something open here? Why can't I open my little journal entries here? Let me see. It's not opening. I'm gonna have to refresh my page. I can't access my info.
Sheppy coughs and says, I could use some of that good healing you got there.
Oh, help me. Do you guys have any more healing to do?
Well, if we have time, then yeah, I'll definitely do some more healing.
You guys can do that while I reload.
Get another 5, Sheppy.
Thank you.
I'll be right back.
All right. In fact, if you guys want to take a break, 5-10 minute break right now, that's fine. You want to do that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, you guys. Folks, we're going to take an intermission, 5-10 minutes, and we'll be back. Gives me a time here to refresh this. But yeah, good stuff. Stay tuned for part 2. We'll be right back. Okay, here we are. We're back. Everything looks okay. Okay, so part 2. Everything looks good here on my end. Good. All right, so quick thinking on the part of Althea. She is the wisest of the group after all. She popped through that teleportation portal, grabbed her friends, took them off, and pulled them back on again. Quick thinking, I'm telling you. And managed to get everybody back where they originally started after almost being consumed by some giant lizard creature. And now,
Don't worry, we'll be back.
the 5 of you, or Thurian in shadow mode, of course, tonight, the 5 of you have gathered yourself. You're standing off of the portal at the moment. You're all in this original room now, trying to figure out, okay, what next and what was that?
I vote we don't go back through that circle. Did you see the size of that thing?
Did you see the damage it did to me?
Yeah, you looked pretty beat up when you came back. You look much better now.
I hurt. My ears were bleeding.
We are not well prepared for where we are, Althea.
Yeah, I think we were just moving a little too fast. Maybe there's something around that can help distract it. I don't know what exactly can transfer through the portal, and the sigils on our forehead, and Althea kind of like wipes hers.
It'll take a few minutes to wipe it off, but it does come off. Also, none of you recognize, if it even says anything, what it says. Because sometimes a spellcaster can actually put a sigil on that it actually says something in whatever language he chooses. And in this case, none of you recognize anything that you could understand anyway.
I have a question. Does Binley have a sigil on him?
Not
On
unless you
his
put a
mouse
sigil on him.
forehead.
He could if you want. Do you have the sigil spell?
No, I mean like after we went through the portal, because he went with me.
Oh, yeah.
And the spider, too.
And the spider. Dirty your white fur.
That's a good point. The question
um,
arises, did they even teleport?
Mm.
If it's like a one at a time type of situation, you're not sure. But as far as you know, Althea, Binley is in your pocket currently. He doesn't seem to have a sigil on his forehead, but maybe he wiped it off.
Well, when they all came back, they came all 3 of them. Did they all appear at the same time? For
How
Lofter?
about Lofter's hawk?
Not
Well, Lofter never
precisely.
went through.
Oh,
we
that's
got
right.
we got the hawk. That's good. That's right. He didn't go through.
Yeah.
Getting complicated here.
Yeah,
I shouldn't
Lofter,
have asked.
Lofter and Valhan stayed put.
But while they're all talking and she's having this conversation, she's wiping it off with the back of her hand. I don't like to be marked like this.
Takes a while.
It never means anything good.
Takes a while, but that's typical of these things. But yeah. Do
Yeah,
you
I
all
just
do so?
thought
Do
of
you, all,
something.
do you remove the marks on your forehead? Do you all do that?
Agatha is more focused on, like, she reaches into the back
So
of
no.
her neck. Yeah, no, she's not gonna wipe hers off. She's more distracted with something else.
Okay.
Sheppy says, what if these sigils belong to somebody here, and when they see it, they could teleport us somewhere if we have those sigils on our heads?
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, it sounds bad. Sheppy's wiping his off, too.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, Sheppy, and she rubs even harder. More furiously. Oh no!
Cassandra doesn't understand all this magic stuff, but if Althea and Sheppy are wiping it off, then she'll do the same.
Okay. Althea, give yourself a hero point.
Woohoo.
Okay.
Now, how's everybody feeling? I'll take that as you're feeling great.
Yeah, Cassandra's not feeling great about where we're. She expresses haltingly that we don't seem to have any organization to what we're doing, and she wonders if that's not going to end up getting one of us killed. She still feels bad about the previous death.
Well, you know what they say: curiosity killed the cat.
Well, you're not a cat, Sheppy. You're a goblin.
Maybe it killed the
That's-
goblin too. You know, I
that's
did
be-
have to run in with a bench with teeth. You know, because I saw it.
Let's avoid that too next time. Arthurian's being really quiet in the corner, but
He's just shaking his head.
yeah.
Where'd everybody go? What's going
Nobody
on?
asked for my help.
I'm going back to bed.
But yeah, so Althea just kind of kicks some of the bones, and she's like, "Well, I don't want to go back through the portal. I don't know where that really led us. I think we should explore something closer."
Root.
That too. As I mentioned earlier, although the bigger the horrific creature is, the more things they have to protect, and I feel like it was definitely guarding this teleportation device, as is the other creature protecting that one. But there might be more to see here. Did anybody want to give door number 1 a try?
I'll take a look at that door at the bottom. Take a listen.
Okay, I will listen to the let's say the upper eastern door, top east corner. Sorry, western door. Sorry.
Now, before we split off, I think maybe we should do this in pairs.
Well, I'm not opening it. I'm just listening at the door.
Okay. Well, maybe we should listen in pairs.
Okay, sure.
4 ears are better than 2, right? Althea just like slips in some of her comedy. She just got this session.
Dun-dun-duns.
She looks around for any kind of response. But no, it seems to have gone over everybody's head. She's shot down a little bit. Aw.
Cassandra's just noting unironically that your math is good, and so she nods her head. Yes, that makes sense.
So,
Lofter, you want to go up with Cassandra?
Sure, yeah, and I'll
Althea, you're
I'll-
watching over the shoulder of
yeah,
Sheppy.
I'll cast guidance on her just before she does it.
Ooh.
that's a good one.
Give you a little boost.
Okay, drag that to your token. Althea. Yeah, Lofter's stretching his wings here. He's got some powers.
Huh?
Oh,
remember
that's
if
for Cassandra,
Lofter-
though, right?
What's that?
Yeah.
That's for Cassandra.
Cassandra, sorry. And Agatha, where are you? You want to hover back here towards the middle and watch what's going on with... Arthurian steps forward and he's kind of talking to you, Agatha. I think I know what this place is. Looks like it was some kind of gathering place for warriors or something. Like as if they were trained fighters here. You can see some of the weapons and equipment that was broken and shattered. I'm not sure what the teleportation device is, but look at these bones. You could see that a lot of these bones are a mix of all kinds of different creatures, perhaps bred to battle somewhere. Maybe they're soldiers in training for Bakora. But there's something very militaristic about this. And the heads that are on the wall, perhaps honoring past warriors? Can't tell. But there's something about this. And the little plates that are also adorning the walls. None of you can tell what language this is. Arthurian can't, but perhaps it's some kind of recognition, honoring some past warriors. Hard to say, but it just has that feeling about it. And this is what Arthurian reveals to you, Agatha, and anyone overhearing this. Lofter, Althea, you are relatively close by. However, Cassandra, you're listening intently at that door. Okay, I've got your roll. How about you, Sheppy? As you listen to the southern door, give me a blind perception. See if you can catch a fall of a pin. Okay, let's go up north. Cassandra, there doesn't seem to be anything coming from that direction. There is a latch on the door. It could easily be opened and peeked through, but you don't hear anything. Sheppy. You're pretty sure there's nothing coming from beyond this door. You weren't sure at first. Maybe the faint sound of a squeak. But there's nothing there. You don't hear anything dangerous up ahead anyway. Althea, as you stand there next to Sheppy, watching his back, you do see to the south this 10-foot wide corridor. You're right at it. About 20 feet ahead, it looks like it descends. There's a set of steps 20 feet away that descend along this corridor in the south. But you don't see anything. Lofter, you are unsettled by the fact there is a door behind you, open, and light flickers through. And I would mention to you, Lofter, that previous room that you were in, the one up here towards this door,
Mm-hmm.
it is lit by a glowing fire.
Oh, okay.
There was also, along the west side of that room, a bed pushed up against that door. And all along that door, you could see spikes, like something was locked inside. That's the previous room. Okay? You kind of just ran through that, the excitement. Silence once again. What do you do?
Maybe we should open one door all together. We just have to pick one.
That makes
I
sense.
say this door.
Yep, agreed. One at a time.
Which one? The one you're in front of, Sheppy?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Ugh.
Do
Close.
I see more stairs?
Close that door.
Next.
We're not going downstairs.
Sheppy shouts up, "Steps!" Slam.
Right there.
Just looks like a small staircase, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
they
kinda narrow.
always start small. They always.
Well, first the grand staircase in front of me. That's 10 feet wide.
Nope. Next.
Now, Cassandra, you're in the dark. You won't be able to see what lies beyond here unless it's lit. You don't see any light coming through the underneath
Happened
the
to my
door.
torch?
Do you want a torch? Pull it out
She
and
had
light it.
one.
I had
Well,
one before.
if we're all going in together, after Sheppy closes the doors and says nope to some stairs, the two of us would join them at the top.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna open this door.
What do you see in there?
It's a
Corner.
corridor with two
Your
more
torch.
doors, but it also heads south after a while.
Hmm.
Plenty of options. Let's proceed through.
Would you
All
like-
right, let me check the marching order here.
All right, Cassandra, did you want to lead the way?
Yeah, we'll put
Sure,
our
and I'll do the scouting
mode.
activity.
And scouting.
Sheppy's got your back.
Okay. What are you doing, Sheppy?
Sheppy is got detect magic,
Okay.
continuous
Who's behind
cast.
that?
I'll
Usually
be
that's Althea.
I'll be behind Sheppy, and I'm actually going to search.
Okay. Agatha? You're usually behind Althea. Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want a shield spell?
Yep.
And Lofter, you want to bring up the rear?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do any kind of special activity, like defend or anything?
Yeah, let's do defend. Shield up.
Okay. Defend. Right. Okay. Let's use this. And leave you guys back here. So everybody click on the party token for the moment. Let me put a light on it, actually. I can't see. There we go. All good?
Yep.
All right. You've gathered yourself up after listening through some of these doors to the northwest. You've gathered around Cassandra, who now takes the lead. You peer behind this door. You see up ahead two more doors, one to the north and one on the opposite wall ahead of you in the west. The
These
corridor
doors,
itself.
they all look the same.
Yes, the corridor at this point turns south. So, Cassandra, you're standing at another door to the north. Do you want to bypass that, or? They all got latches on it, like the one you passed through. Doesn't seem to be any locks.
I say we open it unless there's any objection.
Maybe listen first.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
You can go ahead and make a roll. Let me move you in there just to simulate what is described as you peer into this room.
You'll have to move me with you for.
She's still on the map.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you deleted her.
Make sure you click on the other token. Agatha. Do you see it?
Yep.
Okay. You peer into the room and you see It's pretty much empty outside of a single bed. You see what looks like a footlocker near it that seems to be empty and open. Of course, the chamber pot. It looks like if there was anything in value in here prior, it's long gone. However, it does look very... Best way to describe it is a prison cell. It doesn't look very comfortable or inviting. Bare necessities.
Sheppy's gonna quick look at the foot locker. Just take a look and see if there's anything, maybe like a secret compartment or anything.
No roll needed. It's completely empty.
Nothing here.
You do notice, though, as you step into the room, check it out, and turn back around towards the door where Cassandra is currently standing. There's a bolt on the inside of the door. Like as if it was locked from the inside.
How strange.
Yeah, why would a jail cell have a lock on the inside?
Unless it was something designed to keep them from bursting out. Almost as if it was self-made prison.
Yep.
Do you continue down the passage? There doesn't seem to be anything else here. Unless you want to search. Or really
I think
get
maybe
into
we
it.
should spend the time to search. Shouldn't take more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, while some of them search this room, I'm going to listen at the other door that was right outside.
Okay. Go ahead and make a blind perception roll. It'll take some time to search this room completely. Describe who and how this is done. There's a bed, there's a footlocker, which was just checked. There was a little bowl there for the Midnight Express. What else do you do?
Cassandra will check out the inside of the cage.
Sheppy will dump out the bucket if there's anything in it.
Aw.
Oh,
Hopefully it's just a bunch of dust.
Very on brand for the goblin.
all
I
right,
got
that's
no
gonna take-
problems.
It's going to take you a full 20 minutes to search this completely. In the meantime, Althea, you're listening at that other door. So go ahead and make a... You did, didn't you?
I did.
Perception. Okay, there it is. Boom. Okay. Outside of the clanking around coming from the room next to you, you swear you hear what sounds like a... How do I describe this? It sounds like a sickly sucking sound. Sickly. Yeah, let's not get crazy with the sound effects. I gotta watch my viewers here. But something is unsettling on the other side of that door.
Does it sound near or far?
It sounds nasty.
All right.
It sounds like it's relatively close to that door. Now, Agatha, what do? You're kind of hanging in the back there with laughter.
Sorry.
Anything on your mind?
She's doing the same thing as Althea. She's listening.
You moving up to that door?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. You agree. You hear the same sickly sound. Okay, you still got a little time here while they're searching that room. Althea, Agatha, Lofter, I don't think you're searching the room too, are you? Just keeping an eye out?
Yeah, I was just keeping an eye, defending. Yep.
All right. The one thing you do notice is that door behind you, Lofter, to the east, is open. Do you want to shut that?
I'm not sure I see it. I still only see the torch. Oh, that one. Okay. Yes.
You are at the tail end of the group, so I'm asking you if you shut that door.
Yeah, I'll shut it.
Okay. All right. Other than that, you don't notice anything else. Now, the corridor itself, Althea, does go further south. You want to take a peek?
Well, after hearing those unsettling noises, as much as I want her to go take a peek, I don't think she would dare. She would instead return to the room, or return to the group, and say, maybe we should skip the next door. I heard some sort of noise, and she tries to mimic it the best she can. Maybe not doing it justice. But she's either that or we prepare to defend ourselves if we must go through this door.
Didn't
But
sound like a gibbering, walking mouth thing, did it?
Agatha tries to mimic the noises.
Quiet down,
she's
it's gonna think we're trying to communicate with it.
I mean, she's looked in the forest. She's listened to animals, so
All right. As you have that little discussion and think about that, you finish searching this one room, for a solid 15, 20 minutes, and you have found nothing. However, you do get the feeling that there was something about this room. It just has the vibe of a prison cell, yet there's a lock on the inside. Doesn't make sense. There's nothing here hidden that you can find. Just a simple bed, a very simple bed, not even sheets on top of it.
It's almost as though this is a retreat once a monster gets loose. That's why the lock is on the inside.
Or just terrible personal quarters.
Yeah. Not a place you
For
want to
the-
be
for
locked
the-
into.
Yeah, for the lowest of the little soldiers. Although it is quite a big room.
Mount up and head down the corridor. What do you want to do next?
Shall we move on?
Yeah, I think we'll skip that door.
Why are we skipping it?
Unless you want to open it.
The unsettling noises. We can still search it, and
No, I'm just like, what are we doing if we're not opening doors where we think things might be? I guess that's what I'm asking is, what are we trying to do here?
We're looking for the loot.
We're looking
But
for
the-
loot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We could open it. We'll have to
No,
fight. whatever's in
we
there.
can wait. I'm
Yeah.
just
well,
trying to get a sense of
um,
what we're trying to accomplish.
in Althea's mind, we're searching for clues that will help us solve the mysteries of Belcora. So she wants to search everything. She doesn't necessarily think there's going to be loot. That's just a bonus. But if there's what sounds like extreme danger or something that could end up in having her flee again, which she does not like to do, she's just trying to avoid repeats of history.
Agatha, curiously, she's gonna go over to where she heard the noises from, and she's gonna she's gonna mimic what she heard and see if that's either just movement or if that's actually some sort of 50-50 chance of possible communication.
You're going to try and communicate with the sound you heard on the other side of the door.
She's gonna try.
Okay, you can do that. It sounds a bit unsettling to your companions, but you press hard against the door and you make these nasty sucking sounds. Nothing is heard in reply.
No movement, no nothing, just absolute
No,
silence.
nothing. Silence, yes.
Okay.
Heading south, bypassing the door out of caution, but making a mental note.
Yes,
see the
it shall
corridor.
not be forgotten.
We'll be back, door.
I'll put a little note there. We will be back door. You see it turns to the west and ends in another door. I will note something. I forgot to say this, but at the door you listen to, probably because you're so small, Althea, you might have missed this, but higher up on the door, you see another bolt, as described by Sheppy. There's a bolt on the outside of this door. It's not locked. Now, moving on
Maybe we should lock it.
to where you currently are, you see this other door 10 feet away. You do notice there is a bolt on this one as well, Althea. And the rest of you can see this now. There's a bolt on the outside. Now, it looks just like the one in the first room, where it was on the inside. Again, it's unlocked. Moving to this next door.
I guess what we'll do is we'll always listen first and then decide.
Cassandra, and one other person can listen as well as Cassandra at this door. Go ahead and make perception rolls.
I'm right behind her, so I'll give a listen.
And Lofter, do you want to make it a point of always shutting every door you pass?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if anyone wants guidance, whoever I give it, Cassandra, I don't think I can give that to you.
No, not
for
for
another
now.
hour. Yeah.
Yep.
But if anyone else wants it, just ask.
Agatha would take it.
All right.
All right. Shippy, okay.
It's only
Okay.
good for one round, though, eh?
Correct. So I do it, and then you just immediately listen.
Yeah. For 6 seconds.
Yeah, and Cassandra and Sheppy are listening at this door.
Neither one of you hear anything beyond this door. You do note the lock, but you hear nothing beyond it. There's no other doors or exits that you can see.
Guess
All right,
keep it
I try the door.
Again, you see almost the exact same kind of room as the first one. You've got that simple bed, not used. I mean, this had to be used a long time ago, hundreds of years ago, maybe. You got the bed pot, a footlocker.
Is that one closed?
That one's closed. If you want to go in and check it out, you can do so.
Yeah,
But you
Sheppy will
don't see
take
any other exits. Sheppy, you step inside and you kick open the footlocker. Nothing is contained.
another
It's
empty
pretty
room.
much, pretty much just like the first room. Like it was some kind of quarters. However, Sheppy, as you turn around and look once again at the door, you'll notice that where there once was a lock on the inside, it has been worked off and is missing.
The lock is missing off this door. It looks like somebody took it off.
end.
Hmm.
I guess we go back and look at that door that had noises behind it.
There is a
Yeah.
lock mechanism on the outside of this door.
So it has a lock on the inside and outside.
Looking closer at it, you can see that this was more recent. So in other words, somebody must have taken the lock off the inside and put it on the outside.
So though on the outside it was recently installed. What you're saying?
Yeah. Like
Looks
it was
they're
taken
trying
from
to-
the inside.
Looks like they're trying to repurpose these rooms.
Right.
Maybe the
So
same
you-
thing was done with the door above us,
Possible.
because the bolt we saw was on the outside. Well, from what I heard, it's definitely holding something back, but since we've checked this one, we might as well, go back to that one as if, we've saved it for last. How did we want to go about carefully entering this next room?
The only
Getting
thing
back-
I'll say about these doors that we're leaving behind, maybe we should leave them open, because if we have to run, we don't want those doors closed.
All right, Laughter, that's up to you. Sheppy tells you this. What do you want to do? Do you want to keep those doors open or locked? You're the one.
Yeah, there's wisdom either way.
True.
Experience from this
let's-
place.
Let's hold that.
Check.
Yeah, let's hold that thought for a minute and let's check this.
Agatha's gonna go ahead.
Getting back to this door real quick, you do notice that this lock, this bolt, this looks more recent as well. Like it wasn't originally built that way.
Yeah. So this is like a little prison.
Go ahead, Agatha.
Agatha's gonna stick her ear near the door one more time and mimic the noises again, as see if she can get a response from it.
All right, give me a
Performance.
performance roll. Give me something.
I don't think it's gonna let me do it out of the torch.
Go to your character sheet.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you have to open your character sheet. I made it hard on you. I'm sorry.
No, I got it.
But you've returned back to this door, Cassandra. You're at the head of the party. Althea steps in once again, or not Althea, but Agatha steps in and she starts making these sickly sounds.
And you said performance?
Yeah, go ahead and make it.
Okay.
That could be blind or public. I don't care. Let's see what you get. Let's see how much you can influence me. Oh,
I tried.
it sounds so disturbing. You're not sure what to think, Cassandra.
Hmm.
You want to peer through the door?
Yeah. What's that on the floor?
Oh
That's
my
perfect.
god.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That's a perfect response from Cassandra. Give yourself a hero point. Jeez.
That's a room full of nope.
Yeah.
As you peer through the door, Cassandra, you see an awful sight. Expecting to see yet another empty chamber with a bed and such, you do see the bed. You do see what looks like a footlocker. But everything is covered with this sickening sludge all in the room. It's everywhere. And as you push the door open further, it begins to move. It begins to shake like as if it was some kind of gelatinous thing. like some unsettled piece of food. I don't know how else to describe it.
That was good.
And you and everyone will need to put yourself in the tracker because it begins to move towards you, Cassandra. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to bring your tokens onto the map real quick. I think you're in the other room here, actually. Let me put your tokens on the map, the order that you were marching, with Cassandra and Agatha. Second. I'm going to put you there, Agatha. Cassandra, I'm putting you right here at the door. And I'm going to put Althea next behind Agatha. Sheppy, I'm going to put you right next to, wow. Let me
Is this the
unpause.
marching order, or is this what you're...
Agatha actually is, I'm going to put you right in the same square. I know this is tactically not sound for you two, but I'm putting her in this, well, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put Agatha right behind Cassandra because that's where she was. Timing this. Hold on. Well, let me look again. Cassandra.
How do I give myself my torch again? There we go. All right, if I win initiative, I'm closing the door, yes, everybody?
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
And locking it.
Again.
Yeah, it could be as quick as that. So go ahead. Everybody roll initiative. Put yourself in the tracker and roll initiative. Okay, so you've got the jump on this thing as it begins to shake and rattle. You shut the door?
Yes, please.
All right.
Then lock it.
And lock it.
You close it tight. And as you do so, underneath the door, you could see it starting to ooze its way through. You still have some actions. What do you want to do, Cassandra?
We're gonna run back to the room with the teleporter and not going to the teleporter.
There's a reason they were locking that in there. We got to get out of here.
All right, so Cassandra calls for everyone to run back to the original room, and she takes off in almost
feet?
Barry Allen type speed.
Yeah, nice Flash reference.
It's my blinding 35-foot speed.
All right. Lofter, you're in the rear, but you follow suit, Althea.
Yep.
Now, as Sheppy, as you get up there towards the door to make good your escape, and Agatha as well, you see this thing starting to ooze underneath the door. Just a little bit, but it's coming through, maybe 4 or 5 inches. It seems to be something coming out of that door. You didn't see what's in there, but this looks nasty. Just as nasty as it sounded, if not worse.
Yeah, Sheppy's not going to hang around. He's getting out of there.
If we want to move, once we get back in, I suggest the bottom left door.
Yep.
Do you shut this door behind you?
Oh, yes.
Definitely.
All right, did I get everybody in here?
Sheppy's still behind, but
Too
I
late.
tried no, I tried dragging him over, but it's there we go.
Is there a lock on that door? By chance?
No.
Okay.
You could
We got a bench.
you could spike it. You could put wood up against it. You could brace it. You could do all kinds of things, but there's no
Mind
lock
you,
on
I
it.
don't think a lock is going to do much against the flowing, oozing thing.
Sure.
Lofter has, yeah, it could go under the door.
Yeah. Does it
Anybody
look
got
like
any
there's
cat litter?
Some salt.
Let's not get crazy.
Okay, so we've all retreated.
Hmm.
Wait a second. I guess I would look at the bones on the ground, and then she would look around for like a mallet or something. Looking around, she would try and find something that's hard enough that would like be able to break bones and skulls and such.
A rock.
Something with enough blunt trauma that could like crush a bone.
You got weapons that can do that.
I've got a mace you can have. If you want.
As Agatha is moving, she's got something formulating in her mind, and then she eventually speaks out. She's like, this is probably gonna sound crazy, and this is probably something half thought up, but what if we try crushing all these bones up and tried using the dust that remained to like try and possibly absorb whatever is coming out of that door, like maybe trying to wait and find a barrier type. It sounds crazy, but it's something I don't know if it actually might even work.
I don't think it's gonna work. I think we just move on.
These things take time, and they make a lot of noise.
Yeah, I don't want to draw attention of anything else down here.
So far, you've been pretty lucky. Nothing has seemed to stumble upon you,
It's good thinking out of the box, though.
but you don't necessarily want to draw any more attention. Of course, that's up to you, Agatha. Or the group. But in the meantime, you've just made good an escape into this chamber once again. You see the glow of the sigils behind you, that little teleportation circle. You see 2 more doors in the west wall that you haven't really checked into. And there is that corridor going south with a set of steps going down. And behind this door as well is a set of steps going down. So, at this stage, what would you like to do?
Guess take a look at that door we haven't looked through yet.
Okay. Sheppy steps up to that door. You're going to take a listen. Go ahead and give me a perception roll. Or just open it. Okay. You hear nothing. Silence. A cold silence. It's not locked.
Someone want to open this door? I'm not doing it.
Darn it.
Agatha will just walk over and do it.
Oh, Agatha, she's frustrated now. You're not going to listen to me, huh? Okay. Kicks open the door. You peer inside. Agatha, while the others are yet behind you, you peek inside of this chamber. Oh, you can't really see. You don't have any torch or light with you. It's a small little chamber. You can't really make out the walls to the north and south, but you see about 10 feet into the room, there is an opposite wall. You're going to need light to see any more.
I can pull a new torch out.
You can do so. Oh, there we go. All right, don't move any further.
All right.
The rest of you can't see this, but Lofter and Agatha. A giant mural wraps all around this wall, the entirety of the chamber. Looking closely, you see that it depicts mutated and flesh-warped warriors, grotesque and powerful beings, standing in a round room with a beam of eerie blue light. Again, this is the murals. The blue light seems originating from a tall lighthouse. And the inhuman champions spring forth from the light to slaughter humans, elves, and other surface-dwelling creatures. This is what's depicted on the mural. So what you're looking at, Lofter, you have, well, I'll say no more, but you see this lighthouse, and it immediately rings a bell, the gauntlight. It's emanating this light that seems to be rising creatures, or creatures are emanating from its light, rather. These grotesque-looking beasts wielding weapons and claw and maw. That's what you see. And they're slaughtering. Agatha, you may or may not make a connection with this mural. I'm not sure. That's up to you. But Lofter, you do recognize that lighthouse.
Companions, you'll want to see this.
Agatha is already moving from left to right. She's like trying to study the entire room. She's trying to take every detail into her memory, trying to see if she
Chapt
can
will take a step
understand it.
back. Chapt wants to look behind the mirror.
Now, you're not all in the room unless you want to go in. I'm just putting you in there so you can see the shape of it. There's nothing in this room. It just looks like it's just a mural
Is there anything
going all
behind
around
it?
the walls.
Is like the mural painted onto the wall itself? Or is
Yes.
it like...
No.
Okay, so it is.
Yes.
What about the ceiling? Anything
Nothing on the
there?
ceiling. It's bare.
All right.
Just stone ceiling.
Secret
I've-
doors, maybe?
That's what I was thinking. I've stepped into the room and I'm going to inspect it and just kind of let loose and touch the painting.
As soon as you step into the room, Althea, and you look at the murals, towards the center, right behind Agatha, you see a face that's in the mural, about maybe 4 inches. And there's something about the eyes. They're particularly dark. It almost looks three-dimensional. This is right behind where Althea, or Agatha, currently is standing.
I would poke the eye.
You were searching, by the way, right?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
All right, that's what you noticed then. Out of the way. What are you doing? Poking both eyes or just one of them? Or it looks like, yes, you could stick your fingers in there. There's something in there, in that eye, that recess. Do you do so?
Yeah, she would. It's just one of those impulsive things. It's just like having a cup of soda and you
Right.
just press those little bubbles on the top.
All right, it's a little high up. You're gonna need a boost, but you can see it. So
Well, if I can't reach it, I'll tell somebody else who can. Well, I guess Cassandra's right next to me. She's much taller. Cassandra, do you see this face? It's so peculiar, especially the eyes. I wonder what would happen if we can press them. Just humor me.
So
Give them a
Cassandra
good
looks
press.
at her like, "Okay, I trust your wisdom, but this is
Well, let's
this is
see how
being
far
done
that
based
goes.
on faith." Yeah. So she does.
all right, you kind of lift her up, or do you poke the eyes?
I poke them.
All right, you
Yeah,
poke
yeah.
the eyes. There's
Hilarious.
definitely something at the bottom of this. It goes in about an inch, and you can feel that there's
Oh.
something to depress, and you begin to push harder. And as soon as you do, you hear a sliding motion, and suddenly the whole wall part of the mural in front of you slides up and out of sight, revealing this 5-foot corridor ahead.
That's
Nice.
it. You did it.
Nice work.
You hear
credit,
Agatha in the
credit is
background.
yours.
It goes as far as you can see. It doesn't seem to be an opposite wall, but the corridor goes on, perhaps opening into a larger area.
It looks as if there are bones ahead, and Althea's like, don't give me too much credit yet. I don't know if this is gonna be good for us. But should we
Any,
continue
any
our
magic?
investigation?
any magic
Yes.
ore that's different?
Nothing new, Sheppy. You do sense the magic behind you. Well, not behind you. You do sense the magic, the old stuff that you already. Like, obviously, the portal is magical. You know that. Conjuration.
The
All
magic.
right. Well,
is
we're
so
going
3 hours
down,
ago.
right? Right. We're going down, so I'm heading down.
Yeah, go ahead and lead the way, Cassandra. We'll be right behind you.
Agatha's
If
mumbling in
anybody
the
else
back.
wants to come. What was that?
Agatha's mumbling in the back. So y'all don't want to listen to me, but yet y'all do that. Okay.
What?
I'll take up the rear. Go ahead.
All right,
Guys, I
Lofty.
have to go. I'll be on when I get home.
Yeah, drop in, Jesse, so we could
Yep.
talk.
All right.
Right.
I'll see you guys.
See ya.
Yeah.
Lofter, do you shut that
Take care.
door behind you?
Yes.
Okay, this is where you all are. All right, you get down the corridor, and up ahead, Cassandra, you see it opens up into a much bigger room. Right where you're standing. And what you see is bones. Lots and lots of bones scattered around the floor. Dismembered limbs. Scattered in irregular fashion.
Are they covering the floor,
The way
or
it's
is there
pictured
space
on
to
the
walk?
map. The way it's showing on the map is pretty much what you see.
Okay, so there is space to walk. All right. I'm going to step in.
Okay. 1 second here. Let me see. Lighting controls. Let me turn that on so I could see. There we go. Otherwise, it's a big rectangular room. You see to the north there is a door. There's a door to the south as well. There's also corridors. And as you step into the room, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot. But nothing's coming out and attacking us, so I call the rest of the members in.
No. Just 1 second here. Okay. All right, I see. You can see the room, right? I mean, it's a rectangle. Cassandra?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'm just checking because on my map, when I click on your token, it's showing me a little bit more than that room.
Yeah. Well, it goes to here.
Yeah, why is it doing that?
I see that.
Can you see into the other rooms?
Well, there are doors closed, so I can't. But I can see that it goes up to here. That should be normal by my line of sight.
So you're not seeing into another room.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
Oh,
That's all I need
sorry,
to know.
that's not true. I can see into the rooms we've already been into. The two prisons. Right? I can see they share a
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, those I can see. But I can't see anything that we haven't already sort of seen legitimately.
Ah, okay. All right. All right. All right. I know why it's doing that. All right. As soon as you step into the chamber, Sheppy, you're right behind Althea. You're next, and the rest of you follow in behind. As soon as you step into this room, you suddenly hear a rumble from beneath your feet. It sounds like a clanking and metallic sound. And then suddenly it's in the walls at the same time. And it's behind you as well. I assume you pause for a second.
Yeah, sure.
As you hear this noise. Now, what I need you to do... let's see if that worked. I need you to make... Cassandra... I need you to make a reflex save. I'll describe it in a second here, but give me a reflex save.
$23.
Yeah, you are good at that, aren't you? All right. As you hear this rumble, that's a 40. You're going to take 32 points of damage right off the bat, Cassandra. As you step into this room, you suddenly feel your foot kind of give way slightly, as if the ground sunk in briefly. You hear this metallic rumbling all around you, in the walls underneath you, and then all of a sudden, you see not one, but two blades come up out of the floor itself and come racing towards you along some kind of invisible line that it seems to be following. This is a large saw blade, and it's quite big. You're going to take 32 points of scythe damage as it cuts through you. Now, everybody in the hallway, you also hear this very sound rumbling through the corridor as well as below your feet. Sheppy, you're next. This is for Sheppy. He's going to take 49 points of blade damage. Althea? As these blades come up out of the ground and begin slicing at your feet and into your legs, they're so big. You are going to take 51 points of damage.
This is
Althea.
so bad. We don't even get anything kind of saved. Dang.
Agatha.
Sheesh.
What's your armor class, Agatha?
Let me check.
19.
19.
You were just cut into this thing. You're not going to take critical damage like everybody else just did.
Thank God.
13 points of slashing damage cuts into you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. It's just enough for Lofter. Your armor class is
22.
You're just hit. You don't take critical damage, but the blades cut into you from the floor. 13 points slashing damage. So what just happened here? As soon as Cassandra walked into this room, these blades must have been moving in the walls and in the floor, and then suddenly they're coming up into the floor along invisible trails, and they're just slicing right into you by complete surprise. This is a trap.
Yeah.
And it
And
is
my
a complex
search
one.
must not have found it.
No. This is a complex one at that, so that means we're going to put everybody in initiative. Although I pretty much know what you're going to do.
Well,
We are going to get out of here. So everybody go ahead and roll your initiative. And let me double check this because that was Brutalis. Let me double check here. Yeah, you could not notice this one. No.
That is nasty.
and whose bright idea was it come down this way? Agatha asks.
Okay. All right, so let's begin the encounter, and let me roll some dice here real quick. Okay, let's see. I got two. That's gonna do.
So this may seem like a bad time, but
I know.
I do have to go for the night.
Yeah, same here.
I have to get up at like 4 in the morning so I can go work a 10-hour shift.
Do you
my
want to end
God.
it right there, at this trap? We'll have to pick
Yeah,
up with
this way
trap.
Sheppy can also make his own.
Quite the cliffhanger.
Yeah, he's got 1 hit point left.
Well, who's left? Dizzy, Lofter, and Jesse's supposed to come back. If you guys want to drop out, we could get them out of here without anybody dying. Assuming that's what you want to do, we could at least do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to try that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Yeah.
it would be wise.
Back it up, back it up! Yeah, I don't think having a trapped corridor was in Althea's mindset. She's just like, oh, look at this little cool mechanism to open into this special hallway.
All right. Well, Althea, Eric, Eric, Rachel, we'll leave it there. I'm going to try and get these guys out of here. So in the next
Okay.
session, you can hopefully be alive and we'll go from there. But you guys can, we'll call it here. Effective.
If not, I'm gonna roll a really dope level 5 character that you're all gonna hate. I'm gonna play such a jerk. I'm excited. I already know. I'm going
Alright,
for
Rachel.
opposite of Althea.
Do your outro, Rachel. Come on, do your outro.
Alright, have a good night, guys.
See ya. Slam.
See ya. Slam. No,
All right.
good playing with you. Thanks for hosting. It's great to play with all of you guys again. It is nice to have Lofter in here every once in a while. Sorry that we're here.
It's all good.
Sorry we may have led you to at least maybe like the witness of one of our deaths. You still have a chance of running away.
It's all good.
Yeah, we'll play that out. Thanks, Rachel. And Eric, give us your outro.
Thanks a lot for hosting. Good luck, everyone, with the remainder of this encounter. Hopefully,
good luck.
there are no character deaths, and yeah, have a great week, everybody.
All right, thanks, Eric. Man, you take care.
Take
Good
care, sir.
You
gameplay.
too. Bye, everyone.
Guys, see ya.
Bye.
And okay. So what we'll do, assuming that you guys are still good for a little bit, Dizzy and
I'm still good.
how about Lofter? You're still good a little bit?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Well, yeah, as long as
Just-
it's heading out the other way.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. You know?
Right.
Just try and save everybody. That's what we're trying to do here, if it's even possible.
Yes.
And we'll get Jesse in here as well, because he's going to be coming back. But yeah, I kind of want to take a look at this a little bit and make sure it's all on the up and up, because that was quite surprising. I looked at this earlier, so I know what's going on, but I thought for sure there was a savings throw involved, but it doesn't look like there's a savings throw. Uh-oh, that's the worst kind, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty much what happens. So, and that's its initiative. So it's got a pretty good initiative. So it went first, or it's about to go first, which we're going to do now. This is effectively, this will be round one. So imagine in your head, you're walking down this tight, confined corridor, and Cassandra, after seeing these bones spread around, she steps into this room. And then she stops, suddenly startled, as suddenly there's this rumbling sound in the floor and walls, not only where Cassandra is standing, but under your feet in the hallway itself. And as I described, all of a sudden, these blades appear, and they're like as up high as 2 feet coming up from the ground. So they're slicing into your legs brutally. And that's exactly what it did to Althea, who lets out a horrific scream of pain. Sheppy isn't down, is he? Oh, he's got one
no,
freaking
he's at
hit
one
point.
hit point.
Well, they're shorter races, right? So they would have been
That's a problem.
probably hitting the torsos.
Right. And Cassandra, she got pretty cut up bad, but not as bad as the other two. You guys in the back, you were a little bit onto this, especially you, Lofter. You weren't as cut as bad, so yeah, but everybody else, oof, brutal. Now we're going into round one. Sadly, the rumble begins once again, and these blades disappear from sight. And you better hope and pray no more appear where you're standing.
I think the only person that's got spared of the trap would be Arthurian.
He's in shadow mode. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see. 2. Man. Get the same rolls here. One more. Okay. And all right. You hear this, as these blades disappear from sight, you begin to hear the rumbles once again, and they're in the walls. Okay. Althea, sadly. I don't want to kill her off. Lofter,
Mm-hmm.
you're first. I'm making these public so you can see. 26, that's enough to hit you. That's another damage. As these blades come up out of the ground, you're going to take 19 points of slashing damage. And let me roll once more. You only see the one blade come up, and then there's another blade, and that's going to, well, Agatha, that's perfect. Agatha, you're going to take one as well. 25, that's enough to hit you for normal. 9 points of slashing damage. Imagine these blades are attacking you, so there's no savings throw. It's like an attack. They're trying to catch you. All right. So you see those two blades come up out of the ground, and by chance, you were the two that were actually in its way. But then they fade out of sight once again. You still hear the rumbling in the walls. Cassandra's next. Quick, everyone! Turn around and run! And she bolts, leaping past everyone to get out back into that secret chamber. Althea's next. And she as well follows the instructions of Cassandra and runs back towards that room. Lofter, you're next.
I think I'm going to hang out here. I like it. Masochist. No, I'm getting out too.
You made me think there for a second. What's he doing? All right, Sheppy. Sheppy likewise staggers back. You got plenty of movement here to get out of here. And Agatha, you're up. Would you like to vacate that room?
Yep.
All right, you clear that room and out of that corridor. Y'all made it out. You still hear the rumbling in the walls, but you don't feel it in this room. You're all breathing heavy and grabbing at your wounds. You can still see beyond this door. You can see down there. You're not sure how to close it. Looking down the corridor, you see the blades and you hear them one more time. Maybe one more blade comes up into the floor where you were standing and then disappears. It sinks into the floor and disappears. And then shortly after that, there's a silence, and the rumbling stops. The sound of metal gears. And then silence. So, whatever happened there was pretty bad. Wow.
If we plan to go back through there, we need another plan.
I think
Yeah,
so.
we grab a skeleton or something, chuck it down the hallway, and see
Yeah.
if it starts again.
Exactly.
There's already bones down there in that room. I saw them, says Sheppy.
Agatha's gonna look at Shep and go, "Do you volunteer to be the body thrown down there?"
No.
All right. I think you all need healed up. We all do.
Let me see if Cassandra, she's going to attempt to heal up Sheppy right off the bat because he needs it. So he'll be immune to it after this. She's pretty good at this. How good are you at medicine, Lofter?
I'm not at all. Oh,
Oh.
well, it's just basics. Let me see here. Haven't actually looked. +3 untrained.
Oh, you're untrained.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be trained to use medicine.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Nope.
At least not yet. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. All right. Sheppy got 4 hit points back. It was a terrible roll. Who else? Althea. He's going to attempt to, or she's going to attempt to take care of him as well. Or Sheppy, or Althea. I'm starting to fumble my words. Oh, critical.
Nice.
So 2d6 doubled. Or is it 4d6 for a medicine check? I think it's a 46 if you get that, which is unusual for Pathfinder too. It says your efforts cause the creature to take, oh, wrong one. The target regains 48 hit points, so it is 48 instead of doubled. All right, what do we get here? Go to 7. Let's roll 2 more. So 7 plus 12. 19, right? 19 points for Althea. And Agatha doesn't work on you. Effectively, the only thing that helps you is that harm spell.
Mm-hmm.
Currently. I'm not even sure natural rest heals you.
Don't think it does. I'll have to.
I don't think it does either.
Do vampires even sleep? I know nothing about.
Yeah,
double check.
they require half as much time, 4 hours, in order to regain their spells and be rested. But I don't think they get any natural healing from that, which makes sense, honestly.
Wow, half a night of sleep. I could use that.
You know, the interesting thing is that when you're a vampire, there is abilities as a vampire that you can get where you can sleep in like a coffin, and that's how you can get healed.
Nice.
So it comes from that sleeping in a particular coffin or sarcophagus, that kind of thing.
Right.
So there is that as an ability, but I don't think they get natural healing at all outside of that.
I'm looking.
Nah, it's up to me anyway. This isn't really I mean, it's in the Book of the Dead, the rules on vampires, but it's still pretty loose. It's for the GM to use for NPCs, ideally, or
Right.
PCs that get bit by a vampire or get this disease, but it's not totally filled out. There's a lot of leeway there for the GM. And that's the case with the disease character. Not that it doesn't tell you stuff, but...
I'll be right back.
All right, Ryan. Folks, we're going to push on a little bit here. Get a gauge of what we're going to do next. And Agatha, you're done. So we're going to end this encounter as that rumbling sound comes to a close. That was a close one. Everybody take a deep breath. What happened? What was that? A room full of bones.
I'm back.
Well, that was quick, Ryan.
Yeah, I just had to run to my library.
Gotcha. So, I don't know if you guys are happy with that. We'll just end the session there, but we'll continue discussing. But I think for the session, I think we're kind of done. We can
Yeah.
end the stream.
Yeah, sounds good.
Jesse will be back in a bit here. All right, folks, we're going to call it. That was an interesting session. A lot went on. That last trap was brutalis. We almost had a battle with, wonder what that was, a big old ooze, a big pudding? What was under that door? And is it still moving in on the companions? Who can say? But that was fun. It was good stuff. And we'll call it there. Ryan, give us your outro on what you thought.
Yeah, this is Ryan with Aqualith Media. It's shown on my little chat whenever I
right.
troll.
That's right.
Whenever I troll the chat
That's
of
right.
GM's alcove, I always appreciative of a chance to
that nerd.
play. Yeah, so thank you, Fritz. Yeah, it's great to play Lofter. He's kind of a legacy character for me because I played him in 1E, and it's just always fun to bring a new iteration of him to this. So looking forward to playing again. I don't know when it'll be, but in the meantime, we'll switch to NPC mode as needed. So
Yeah, that's for sure.
thank you.
NPC mode. You're welcome, my friend. And Dizzy, what'd you think? Give us your outro.
Agatha is slightly miffed how they wouldn't listen to her, but yet somebody had the bright idea of going down the corridor, and yeah, that was that almost cost half the party being wiped.
Trust issues.
Yep. Touch and go. Touch and go.
But at least they're making more headway than what they had before. So that's a plus, and they're getting more information as they move.
Mm-hmm.
So
The
hopefully,
locked doors. The prison-like cell chambers that you went through. Not sure what they're about.
a large mural.
The mural.
So a lot of information that's being gathered, which is good because the more knowledge they can get, the better understanding they know what they're dealing with.
Yes. The evils of Belcora. All right, Dizzy, we'll call it there. Folks, we're going to end our session here. We're going to be back with episode 54 next Sunday. Same bad time. Hopefully a little earlier, i.e. 6 p.m. Everybody's late coming in, but the sooner we start, the more we can get in. Because folks usually have to do their thing at around 10 or 10:15. So, yeah, so there is that. But we're going to be back again and with some Abomination Vaults stuff. And thanks again goes out to Ryan for joining us tonight. We'll see him every once in a while. He joins. His character, Lofter, is a working member of the town guard. So he's a functioning NPC as well as a PC. So we see him occasionally. And thanks everybody for watching the stream. Max, Ironman, PF, and so on. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate that. Like, share, subscribe, and all that other good stuff as put forward by my good friend Dizzy. She always reminds me, but she forgot tonight. But I've got you covered, Dizzy. I got you covered. We'll see you guys soon. Folks, hang in there. It's only going to get better. And that's the truth. I'll see you soon. We'll see you soon. Take care, folks.